Okay, welcome back to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. This is session 40 something. 48. Session 48 book. The party has made their way to the island of Kranfak. Well, it's the village of that. They're stopping there to make some trade and find out some information as they head towards Crystal Point, which they found rumored to possibly be an access point or a location where the Lost Treasure of Atlantis might be buried. En route, though, they realized that, or they found good information about the possibility of some kidnapped Khromarium children, and children from Khromarium, I should say. And they have been investigating that while they are releasing prisoners, getting in fights with Romans, and other shenanigans. But I guess we'll get to that eventually. In any case, let's have you guys intro your characters, and we'll see where we're at. Crystal, go ahead and tell us about your character.
I play Callista Kixelos. She is a merchant, or she comes from a wealthy merchant family. So she's sort of a merchant herself, though she has become a magician and sort of moved away from the family line of work. She has her own goals in mind. Uh, but right now, her biggest goal is just to try and find knowledge of magic and cool magical items, and that is Callista.
Excellent. Sure. There's lots of rumors of interesting magic they call technology created by the Atlanteans. So that could be interesting. Nikki, tell us about your character.
I play Pinesta. She is a bard. Right now, her and Brighild are eyeing the guardhouse cell where we are assuming the children are being held that we're here to rescue. And at this point, Brighild has a date to with one of the guards because he would like some of our krill bars. So Pinesta's very interested to see how that goes. So yeah, that's Pinesta right now. She's just thinking about the kids that they're here to save.
Awesome. And let's see, Rush, tell us about your character.
So I am playing Bale, the former mercenary and wielder of the great hammer Tyrannus, spelled T-R-A, not T-Y. And he's joined in with the group and has started to thoroughly enjoy himself as what he feels to be a productive member of the crew. He's trying to learn different ways. As a mercenary, he was used to basically just smashing things into little bitty pieces, and that's how you solved all the problems. However, after watching and Brighild and some of the others, that's not always the best course of action. Hammer doesn't always have to come first. His first attempt at such a tactic did not go over so well, and several lives were lost at the hands of a great white ape. But now he's in these islands where he's met an Amazonian woman who also wields a great big hammer. Who's he's not sure what to make of her. She is unlike any woman he's ever been known, but she's agreed apparently to come on with the party, and so now he is pretty much stuck with Pinesta and Brighild as far as taking a great interest in seeing these children freed, and also seeking vengeance on some Romans should the chance present itself. And that is Bale.
Excellent. Tony, tell us about your character.
Brighild, the imposing warlock, has kind of a creased brow right now. She's a little bit worried about what's to come and hoping that everyone can contribute without messing anything up or causing further problems or delays. And she walks over to Vanessa and she goes, that guard, he's not handsome, but he's kind of cute in a way. So let's try not to hurt him too bad. I mean, if it comes to that, maybe we can just hopefully buy him enough drinks and lift the key off of him or something. And if not, maybe we can get Muda and Basil. They like to dig their fingers and stuff. Maybe they can call some kind of other diversion somewhere while we get these kids out. But I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. That's Brighill, the imposing.
Excellent, excellent. And Yang, tell us about your character.
I play Basil Dracos. He is a former city guard from Khromarium. He's a cataphract, and he's very concerned about the kidnapped children from Khromarium. In the past, he has tracked down some lost children, but never this far. In any case, in the previous session, he helped free an unjustly imprisoned sailor from a certain doom by creating some distraction. It was completely ridiculous. He was banging on his shield and singing with the Romans for Baal to come out of his tent. It was a big fiasco. But in the end, the escaped sailor and his brother came aboard the party as a stowaway and offer their sailing expertise in our mission for the future. Basil is now concerned, and he's going to be participating in the rescue effort for the kidnapped children.
Excellent. And last but not least, Mike, tell us about Muda.
Muda Adi is a Lemurian purloiner. He's currently very dissatisfied with life right now because he was expecting to go to much warmer climes. And, sure, 40 degrees is warm, but he was expecting tropics and not this. He's kind of missing his homelands right now. And, this treasure hunting is fine, children is fine, but he does like finding these religious artifacts, which seem to have not been so many lately. So he's getting a little more antsy, and because he hasn't been in his warmer climate, he feels like he's getting a little rusty in his martial arts. So he's going to be spending his extra time just practicing with his balancing and his tumbling and his juggling and his meteor hammer. And that's Muda.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so it is in fact late in the day on the 23rd day of the second month of the 11th year is the fall, and as Muda has noted, it's chilly, warmer here than it was in Dunwich, where it was sub-zero temperature, but still quite cold. Crystal Point, of course, is out closer to the edge of the world, near the Black Gulf, so it should be a bit warmer, but you're still in a bit here, and there's still some frost here and there, still melting away from the occasional snow that they get on these islands. So, yeah, let me go here. Roll 20, so you guys have the map and all that. Let's see, that's what we do kind of back. All right, yeah, so your boat's actually moved into where K1 was, down there. And I guess you have all assembled back at the boat, if I'm not mistaken, based on what happened last time, to find to help unload the goods that are being transported, or to help organize your sailors to do that, because you guys have obviously a crew, and I guess discuss your next plan. So we'll place you on the boat so you can have some privacy. And what are you guys looking to do?
What's the plan, everyone?
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Basil, he goes up to Brighild and says, Brighild, I got a confession to make. We got a couple of stowaways. And it's that fella that was held captive in that cell earlier, in that cage, by the docks.
She crosses her arms and she looks at you and she goes, "Have you told Panesta?"
Not yet. You're the first one that I ran into after I found them.
Okay, well, the first time that he causes any problems, I will push him overboard by spear point, just to make it clear.
That's fair enough. Yeah, he seems to be grateful. He thinks that we had some part in his escape, and he wants to offer his services in sailing. Apparently, he's an experienced sailor in these parts, and he knows the
Well,
waters.
well, let's hope his selling experience is much better than the lies he sat there and told us that day when we first met him.
Well, I hope that's the case.
But I believe you should go and tell Panesta, because if she's not aware of these two subjects here, you need to definitely make her aware of it.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't I go with you?
Do you know where she is?
She's probably down below and getting some stuff ready. We're trying to, formalize a plan to get these kids out of their prison.
All right. Well, let's go and find her.
Well,
Yeah.
I have
go ahead.
this. I
No, I'm sorry,
I
Jeff.
have it. I have this crystal ball. Anyone that I've met, I should be able to see. I'm trying to look at my notes here and see if I'm able to actually see a non-person.
A non-person?
What
Yeah,
is a
like if I can just
non-person?
see
Like a
if I
monster?
can see a place, if I can see like a place is what I'm trying to
Oh.
say. I should have wrote down which page number this item was on.
Okay. Okay. In the meantime,
But I can see I know for sure I can see any person we met. So I could see like the leader, for example, or something like that. If we met any of the children, I might could see them as well. Like I think we saw at least one of the children, right?
I've never
you
seen
have
him.
not seen any children.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
No.
So Panesta,
Yes.
how big of a distraction did you want me and Basil to make?
What?
Well, didn't you say at one point that you wanted us to make a distraction so that you could get in closer?
Look over at Breakhill. Did I say that?
Well, before we discuss that, Basil has something he needs to tell you.
Panessa, remember that fella who was captive, who was held captive in that cage? He escaped, and he believes that we had a part in his freedom, and he offers his services in sailing. He's an expert seaman, and he knows the waters in these parts, and him and his brother wishes to serve you.
That's not exactly right, Nesta. They're already on the ship.
They're stowaways.
Wait a minute, Basil. Did we have anything to do with their escape? And Rascal, who's sitting on her shoulder, looks at you and is like, "Caw!"
Well, apparently the fiasco that we experienced last night was enough of a distraction for them to make their escape. But I had no part in it directly.
It's funny.
Well.
I could have swore we talked about it with him.
Yeah, but I didn't actually go up there to open up his cage or anything like that.
You opening your mouth is enough.
Bale
he
just
can-
starts laughing.
If he can pull his weight, they can stay.
All right. So I reviewed my notes that I've taken on on my crystal ball, and I can see a familiar person or thing, or a nearby place within 500 miles. However, any unfamiliar objects or any very distant places over 500 miles, I can only glance at them for just a moment before my ball turns foggy usually. And of course, I can see 120 foot around anything that I look at. So I might be able to look at those cages, for example, and see how many guards are in there and what the setup is like.
Well, the plan that Vanessa and I had talked about is, Muda, is we may need a diversion. We were going to try, well, we have a date this evening with the guard. He's going to come and meet us at that hole in the wall and have a drink or two or three, and we hope maybe he has some keys or something that we can try to lift off of him and to gain access to the cages. And if we're not able to sneak our way in, reasonably, we may need some type of distraction to draw other guards away so we can get those children. I would think that would be up your alley there, Muda and Basil.
Well, 2 nights in a row of distractions? Now that's unheard of.
We will have to sacrifice a few krill bars, though, Muda, for this guy. Sorry about it.
Well, I think we have enough left, unless, nobody else has been eating them, have they?
What was that? And then you see Basil with his mouth full of crowbars.
Exactly. He's kind of look around. We still have krill bars left, though, right?
Yeah, we got plenty.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's for the cause, I guess that's fine.
I can also just see the nearby village. I mean, 120 feet will allow me to see the entire village. I mean, at least according to the map we have on our table right here.
Well, Calesta, your winged friend, is he able to follow instructions as far as maybe if you would give him a vial of oil that he could drop or something?
I mean, he has the intelligence of a regular crow. Daniel, would he have the intelligence enough to be able to do that?
To drop a vial of oil?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
On like a building or something, let's say.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, I think I could get him to do that.
Well, I mean, if we need a diversion, maybe if you could get him to do that, and I guess Basil or Muda could use their skills at shooting a flaming arrow and shooting into that oil, if we need that, of course.
Yeah, I'm all for diversion, but I'd hate to cause property destruction or set fire to buildings.
Yeah, or release criminals.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that would be horrible.
Oh,
Yes.
but it's okay, Basil, to leave two innocent children to their impending death that are going to be used as slaves. Yeah, that really makes sense, doesn't it?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there has to be a little better distraction than setting a building on fire. We'll need to think on that for a little while.
Well, I'll fight the Romans.
I'll wrestle the Romans. We were talking about wrestling before, Bale.
Well, you see, though, the distraction we will need will probably be to be inside the village and not down there at the, well, whatever you want to call that place.
You don't want to wrestle the Romans anyway. Romans are very good wrestlers. They even have their own style of wrestling.
Well, they've never met me.
I'm just saying.
Yes, but they never met me.
True.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
man.
you haven't wrestled me, Bill.
It'll be interesting to watch. And then I look over at Panesta and Brighild and I say, when you go to meet this guard at this hole in the wall place, it's not a private. It's not like a private drinking spot, is it?
Oh no, it's the bloody bucket or whatever it's called down there. And
What-
in fact, it would be best maybe you and your lady friend. I would think would be best that you two would go. Probably go with myself and Panesta when we go to get the children.
I was actually what I was thinking is that perhaps we could go and set up a table and not necessarily make it like where we would be there with you, but not with you with air quotes. If you catch my drift, that way if things got out of hand, you wouldn't be stuck there alone. Not that you couldn't handle yourself, but four is better than two.
Well,
Or
the
just
air. Oh, go ahead.
just remember when you see me jump up and grab this town guard by his ass cheek and give him a kiss. I don't need your help.
Oh no, of course not. No, I'm saying if weapons get, I'll maintain myself until I see weapons drawn, and even then, I won't, we won't interfere unless it looks like you need it.
Yes, because we're just going to use any diversion we can to get a key off
Yes.
of them.
I don't want to get
Oh,
between a tall
right.
woman and her spear.
have we offered to buy the children?
I honestly don't think they're for sale. I think they are something special because they're Hyperboreans. I think Tartok is.
Oh,
Yeah, because the Witch Queen is looking for Hyperboreans. So I have a feeling that she wouldn't sell to anybody but her.
Yes, and we also need to remember the whatever the lady here is called in the village. She's been very receptive to us. That I believe you were spoke to her most, Calesta. Did you not? The enchantress here. I don't know what you would call her.
Shingani. I have it written down here. I just can't pronounce what I have written down.
Yeah, like the village shaman or whatever
Yeah,
she is.
yeah. She's been rather helpful, and I mean, she helped us to recover when we were injured. So she seems to be on our side. I don't think she likes the idea of these children being slaves.
No, she did not.
Colesta, are you able to summon creatures?
Yes.
We have
Some,
you, don't we?
I suppose. But I
I
don't
mean,
know. I mean, I was thinking maybe if we were to rescue these children while you're at it, if the guards move towards where you are, we may prompt them to come and help us fight against some unseen creature in the woods.
Uh, well, the creatures that I can summon come with a risk. It's not something that I take lightly. I only ever do it in dire emergencies.
I can summon animals if that's what we're looking for here.
We could greatly exaggerate the ferocity of the beast and try and recruit the help of the town guards. I don't know if it would work, but it's worth a try, I think.
I could do a couple mountain lions. I could do some wolves. I could do a bear. What would you like?
Mountain lions.
Mm-hmm.
Are they indigenous to these parts? Perhaps bears would be more
If they weren't
appropriate.
indigenous, it'd be that much more scary.
Yeah, that's true enough. But they
Well,
would wonder where they came from, and they could possibly point that finger to us.
well, I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps Calesta's magic is different from the magic I study, but I know typically in these manors, you can only summon things which are near to you.
Perhaps bears would do the trick. I could make a lot of noise. My armor really clatters when I run, so I could scream and run back to the guards and ask for their help.
No.
Well, and if all else fails, we just get Callista's bird to drop the oil, and we hopefully burn a little thatch hut down that nobody's in.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what I would have to do to be imprisoned in this little cell that this town has?
Yes, I do. Speak badly of the crab people or the crab men.
Oh, well, that's simple enough.
Well, the last person who spoke badly of the crab men, well, that was the crab people. Like that was the prisoner that was in the
In the
cages
cell.
outside. Yeah, like they
That's
didn't
right.
put them with the children.
Yeah, and one of them got burned to death, I believe.
Hmm.
Yes, but he didn't have friends like you guys.
Yes, but I don't see how having friends like us is going to help them put you in a cell where the children are.
Well, maybe we're overthinking this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm exploring here.
Yeah.
I think Muda could just simply sneak in there because he's so good at that.
Or we just
And,
walk in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just walk in there or slink in and unlock the cage and get the kids out of there.
Well, like I said, I mean, like I could also peer into the place through my crystal ball, perhaps map out what the area looks like. Muda would have a better idea.
That sounds like a great plan.
Well, figure it out. I'm gonna go have a drink. I make my way to the top deck. As he goes through the hatch at the top, he says, "When you find out what needs to be hit with a hammer, just let me know."
Right.
Oswald
Yeah, you
says,
come up to the top of the ship, and your crew is about finished unloading. With the help of the locals that were helping, from the trader. They're wrapping everything up, and they see you come up and mentioning a drink, and a couple of them look at you with the eyes of sailors who haven't had their feet on the shore yet. Well,
I look at what they've done and I say, "Oh, finished already?" I was like, "Well, come." And
any
I
job
point to
worth
one of the
doing is
barrels.
worth doing fast.
Indeed. I point at one of the barrels on the deck and I say, "You break that barrel open. You boys have earned it."
Yes, sir. And he gives like a half salute, and yeah, they get their barrel and break it open. Yeah, and if you're going to head to the Bloody Bucket.
Yeah, I think Brighild and I are going to go meet our guy, right, Brighild?
Okay.
Yep, and I think Bale and his lady friend are going.
Yeah, I'll grab shit. I can't remember her name now.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's because I work at this
Oh.
desk. The
Well,
place
then.
thing where I had it written down is the paper's gone.
Those
Helene.
kind of excuses don't work with the
What was it?
ladies, Belle.
Yeah.
Helene or
Elite, yep.
Yep.
Wow.
Particularly
A wife in every
Amazonians.
port.
I'll tell her she punished me so bad I couldn't think straight.
It's the concussion.
Yes. You said
Yeah, you can
what was
swing
it,
by
Helene?
Ellie, yeah, her name is Helene.
Yes.
Yeah, you can swing by. She's got a tent in the traveler village area because
Yeah.
she's part of that other boat, but she doesn't explain to you she doesn't like to stay on the boat. She doesn't have to.
I explained to her kind of very briefly what we're doing, what we're trying to do, and so that she's not completely unaware.
Brighild on the way is going to stop with Callista for just a moment and kind of low talk to her and going to tell her, if you think you can use your crystal ball, as you mentioned, to get a look in the hut there where the children are kept without any interference, or you have any, what if there's some type of ward they have against magic? I mean, if you think you can do it without bringing attention to yourself, it may be a decent idea. We're headed over to hole in the wall if you want to come later.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they did have magical wards. This doesn't seem the kind of place to have a lot like that. I mean, they have one local shaman, and that shaman is against them.
Well, that's what I say. Use your own discretionary.
All right, yeah, I'll do it. It can't hurt to have that information.
Basil catches
Okay.
up to Brighild and says, Brighild, I'm not a very smart man, but I just wanted to go over the plan with you. If you go over there and take that guard out to the bloody bucket, would that be the time when Muda would try and sneak in and take the children out from the cell?
If you think it's a good idea, I will not stop you. And Basil, there's going to be a guard there at that hut no matter what. This one is the one that works the day shift. We were just going to try to, hopefully, maybe if he had some keys on him, lift some keys off of them to get into the cell themselves. But I think it's dangerous what you and Mood are wanting to do, but that's up to you two.
Do you want us to wait until you get the keys and then attempt something later in the night?
I think that would be the best idea, yes.
Yes.
That sounds fair. Well, Panesta, that's what we shall do then. He nods and, goes back.
Okay. You could use the crystal ball, but I think you already used it once today. Because remember, you were trying to see, you couldn't make contact because they were too far away, but I believe that still counts as a use.
That was yesterday, I believe.
Well, you've only been here this is only the second day you've been here.
Yeah, that was the first day I got here. That night I tried to do that before I went to sleep.
All right, then you're good then. So what are you going to try to do with it?
She would like to try and look into the hut where the children are being kept. And she can see up to 120 feet around that area. So I don't know if she can like look outside the hut afterwards. But she gets one turn. So she'll use the first, say, half of her turn to try and map out the local cage in there she can see in. That local building, and then her other half, if she can, she'll look on the outside and try and figure out where the guards are, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an unfamiliar thing. You've never seen inside this, so you're only going to get a brief glimpse. But
Okay.
even if you had a full turn, the way I read it is you see it from the point of view of the object. So if it was in a room, you wouldn't see the whole. You just see what's around you.
Okay.
So just for future use. Yeah, you focus down on the crystal ball and you look into it, and you know what this. You've never actually. No, you saw the building. Oh, actually, no, you were there, right? You walked up and looked into the building with everybody else, right? Weren't you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I believe she was with me and
No. It was
Vanessa.
closed. Yeah, but it was closed when you went. The very first time you weren't there, right? It was only the two of you. Right, you've been in there twice. The first time to meet the elders. Did you go to meet the elders the first time?
Yes, I did. No, I was in the bar. No, that's right. I was in the bar the first time.
Okay, yeah. So you've never seen inside this building, so I'm going to call it unfamiliar for you. So you'll just get a glimpse, but I mean, a glimpse is enough, really, because it's a very small space. The building itself is kind of like I mean, you can see it on the thing. It's probably like 15, 20 feet in diameter. It is comprised of a table with a chair, and you see a man sitting at the table. He's got drink in front of him or whatever. An old romance novel, whatever he's got in front of him. He's just hanging out there with a lantern because he's inside. There's a wall that is slung with weapons, so this looks like where they store weapons and such. And there is actually kind of your standard jail cell type thing set up in the back with two cells. And in one of the cells, you see two children, two Hyperborean children. They are sitting on benches there, and they seem to have like a bowl of water or food or whatever with them. And then your vision kind of cuts out. But in short, the building is not very big. There's a table, two cells, a weapons rack. There's a door which is closed. And that's it. And the children are in there.
my headset lost connection for a moment. Is that Crystal looking through her crystal ball?
That is. Yep.
Okay.
Celestial
All right.
looking through the crystal ball. Yep.
Sorry about that. Okay.
No problem. So yeah, so you basically you have the basic layout of the space. When you come in the door, there's essentially off to one side is the table, which is where the guy's sitting, and then kind of you would walk past the table and the two cells are there. It's pretty simple. There's no windows at all. There's no windows. There's the ceiling's like average height for these buildings, which is about 15 feet, and the door is kind of low. I mean, having been inside a couple of buildings, you get the basic idea of it.
Okay. She'll let them know. There's a guy sitting there. He's reading Midnight Bride.
Well, they all left, so you'll have to tell them when you get back. But you could tell them when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that works for sure. Heading back over to the go to my little 20 seconds. To the traveler's site. You see the tents. Helena's there hanging out. You can definitely connect with her. You see the Romans are kind of sitting there. There's a couple people that you hadn't seen before, maybe they're probably locals. Well, they're definitely locals. You can tell because of the way that they're dressed. They have like the pieces of shell on them and stuff. They are playing dice, and other than that, it pretty much looks the same way it did the last time you were here. Just a basic village of tents set up as you head towards the Bloody Bucket. It's still pretty early, so there's not too many people out and about. And yeah, you can go in there, and of course, they offer you a drink when you come in. And assuming that you're just waiting for the guard, we'll just cut forward like an hour or so when the guard that you had met earlier, Brickhild, shows up.
Oh yeah, she jumps straight up and waves them over, and acts like she's a little bit more inebriated than she really is, of course.
Okay. Yeah, he looks and he smiles and he says, I see you started without me, but don't worry. I'll catch up pretty quickly. And he raises his hand to have some of the swill brought over.
Yeah, Bricky will actually pay for it when they bring it over. She says, "Oh, let me buy the first one. Myself and Panesta, we're getting a little giggly from what we've had, but please catch up with us."
Yes, please do. And I will giggle.
Oh yeah, he definitely takes it. He takes the offer and begins to consume the bird song. Yeah.
Did the rest of your shift go well?
Oh yes, this is a very peaceful place to live. The crabmen take care of us. Someday, the crabmen will bring peace to all of Hyperborea.
Yes, that's what we've heard from several people have talked about how well they do help and serve you all here.
Yes, they're great, great people, and they take care of us.
How do they do that?
Well, you see that while we are a small group of soldiers, we very rarely find ourselves in any kind of a conflict. The crabmen will protect us from pirates, from sea creatures that might come and roam the land, and anything else that might harm us. And for that, we give them our respect and worship. And, whatever meager funds that we can bring.
Well, you being you're well enough to be a guard. They trust and stuff. I mean, what? I guess you probably just have a few drunks and stuff here, and that probably have to serve a day or whatever. I mean, sure, you don't guard anything valuable, do you?
Well, only when goods are brought in, or for tribute to the crabmen, and we have to hold them for a while. That might be considered valuable. And yes, sometimes there are a drunkard or two, but I'm not one to gossip. And then you start drinking another drink. And then,
Well,
2 drinks later.
no, of course not. Of
Wouldn't
course
dream
not. We're
of
not gossiping.
No, wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah.
But tell us some of your stories.
Well,
I wouldn't dream of gossiping, but let's gossip.
Exactly. Exactly.
he says, well, he kind of looks around and he says, there are a few. You've probably seen the man laying in the street, passed out and smelling of his own excrement. He believes he will someday marry the pirate queen. Where he gets money for drinks, I do not know. But, more interesting, he looks around. Karpak's wife has told him that he is not allowed to drink anymore. But rumor has it, he's been sneaking drinks when she's not looking. And saying it's just tea. And he starts laughing.
Trying to disguise it from her.
That's right. Well, you know, if you knew Suka the way that I know Suka, you wouldn't mess with her. I think he's taking a great chance hiding things from her. But if one loves his drink so much, one will do anything for it, so they say. And me, I have it under control. I'll have another, please. And he calls for another.
Of course, it's nice to see someone who can hold their drink, as it were. I believe we did
yes,
run
yes.
into that other gentleman. So
Brickyard is going to jump up from the table and look at him and go, "It's time to dance. I need a dance before you get. Well, you still have your wits about you, so let's dance now." And she'll grab him by the arm.
But there's no music.
I can
Panesta,
yep. I will start playing my flute.
Hold on. We are 48 sessions in, and the bard is finally going to play a song.
I've played songs before, but yes, I will actually do this for Brighild.
Okay. Are you going to play a jaunty tune on your...
Yes.
She's gonna play
On the
David
flute.
Bowie. Let's dance.
He's playing How I Ain't Coming Back, Girl.
That's right.
all right, yeah, sure. He'll dance. He's pretty excited to be off work for the night, and he's had quite a few drinks in him now. That bird song catches up.
yeah,
pretty quickly to you.
Brickyard is going to get as close as she can to him and grab him as close, and she's trying to feel him to see if she feels any keys on him.
Oh, yeah. I guess roll a d6. I mean, yeah, you can. I'll give you.
Oh
a 50
man,
chance.
always roll low. This is why I need it.
Well, low is good. That's what you want here.
That is a 3.
No, that's good. Yeah, 50-50, so that'd be a 3 would be good. You give him a pretty thorough pat down, and you do not feel any keys on him. No.
Yep, she'll just keep, dancing, and then she'll kind of look at Vanessa, like, give her the eye, like, hurry up and finish this song, will you? To let her know, but she's not found what she was looking for.
But I have
Yeah,
75 more verses. No, I'll stop.
He's got you feel that he's got some coin in his pocket, and he might have like a knife on his belt, but other than that, he's not really carrying very much. So
Yeah, when the song ends in the dance, she'll say, "Oh, you're very good. You're on your feet, even under with a few drinks." And speaking of that, let's have another drink. I'll make sure you get home okay.
oh yeah, of course. And he'll sit down and drink again with you guys. And now you've been here for a bit, drinking and stuff. More villagers are coming in. The place is starting to get more packed. What's everybody else doing? What about Bale and well, I guess, but you just came by with Helene, right? But,
Yeah, Bale's just sitting at a table, enjoying a drink slowly, just watching what's going on. Actually getting a kick out of Brighild's shenanigans. He did enjoy the song that Panesta sang. But yeah, other than that, he's just kind of, he's being the protector this time. He's just watching and making sure that, you know, nothing that if this guy catches wind of what's going on, that he doesn't try to do anything, or, you know, just doing his job, making small talk.
How about well, did Callista head over after she did the crystal ball thing, Crystal, or was she hanging out somewhere else?
She'll head towards the tavern once she is pretty sure she has the map down as best she can and everything.
Okay.
Like I said, if she could, she'd probably like at least draw it out some and then probably put it in her scroll case so that no one will be able to see it.
Do we
Oh,
do we know
definitely.
that you've been making a map of it?
I mean, Brighild came up to me afterwards and told me to. So
Okay. Yeah. If Basil knows, then he's gonna say, maybe we could study the map while you go out there, or if you want to stay and study the map together with Muda, I think that would be helpful.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So Basil's gonna try and fetch Muda, and if Muda's available, is he?
Yeah,
Yeah, and he says,
I'm just working out.
yeah, he says, hey, Muda, Colesta got some map of the place that you might need to walk into later. And you want to take a look?
He said, okay. He said, but I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I walked up there when we went up and we met with the elders.
Okay.
The door was open. It was empty.
We may come to having you sneak in there to spring the children out. How would you communicate when when would be ideal for me to create a distraction?
Oh, I don't know. What would you like? I can yell at you.
Okay.
Go, Basil! That would work.
Yeah, but that'll also get you caught.
No.
Well,
You overestimate people.
I could have Rascal follow you, and maybe you could give a sign to Rascal, who could fly back to me. And that will let us know when you need us to give the distraction.
Okay.
Rascal's pretty smart, right?
Yeah.
Well, intelligence of an ordinary raven. But I mean, ordinary ravens are kind of smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a
I
great
hear
plan.
almost as good as commanders. Probably could lead a cataphract division.
Yeah, whatever, Muda. Well, that sounds like a plan then. If you already know how to navigate yourself through those buildings.
Well, I'll look at the map. I want to see what she has to say.
Yeah.
I'll never turn down a map.
So I guess we study the map and have him sort of plot a course, where to go, and things like that.
Yeah.
Basil's going to ask Colesta, how long do you think it's going to take for Muda, if there weren't anybody over there standing guard, to get the kids out?
I have no idea. I'm not a thief.
No, I mean, just looking at the distance, he's like, pointing at the map. How large is this room over here, and that kind of thing.
I mean, it's not a very big place.
Okay. He nods and he says maybe about 5-10 minutes.
I mean, I don't know if it would take that long. Again, I think that's something that Muda would know better than I would, seeing as how he's the expert in this kind of field.
Well, hey, let's go talk about religion.
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
That will get us into town. I mean, we could walk around.
I'll join you a little later. And Basil goes up the deck, and he's like, "Oh, brother, distraction." And he looks around. Does he see anybody up on the deck? Any Lemurian sailors?
On your deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have tapped into the keg that Bale offered them, and they are taking part in the fine art of drinking.
He's gonna go up there and say, "Hey, fellas, how are you? How's everything going?"
They look up and they say, "Well, Bale said that we could tap in to this keg, and that means everything's fine."
What is
Smile.
that keg, by the way? Is that the one that we brought in, or the one that he got from the local Bloody Bucket?
Oh no,
He-
I think that you brought it in.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna say,
Yeah.
"You know what, fellas? How about it's been quite some time since you were cooped up here in the ship. What do you say to a shore leave later?"
Oh well, sure.
You guys want to party later? Go down to the local village and drink with the locals, see the sights.
Sure. Yes, we would love to do that.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
they're down. Well, you don't need us to stay on the ship.
yeah, a little later when Brighild and everyone comes back, and we have someone watching the ship, maybe all of us could go down and have some fun around the town.
Oh, that would be great. Well, you hadn't given us our this month's pay yet, so we don't really have a lot for buying drinks. But
You know what, fellas? The drinks tonight. It's on me, my friend.
all right, that sounds great. You are our favorite boss. Oh, shit.
Muda will come up behind him and go, "So you ready? Let's go worship."
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's follow Muda for a while and hear his sermon.
No, we don't want them.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
No.
I'll come back later, guys. Don't have too much fun without me.
Yeah, we just need to get in there ourselves.
Okay.
Ed,
Do
do you have
just go back to
coin?
drinking. So I have sketched onto the map, as you might be able to see, the amazing drawing that Colesta made of this place.
She
So
did
you've
a
got a
really good
door.
job.
Yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like. There is a door right there going in. There's a table with the guy sitting at it. There's 2 cells, one of which has 2 children in it, so I drew the benches in that one. And then this wall has all kinds of weapons and stuff. It's a weapons storage. The door is closed. So that is K6. I know the artwork is amazing, but I figured I'd splurge for you guys.
That's actually much better than anything I could have actually done.
So yeah, that's what you're looking at.
Brickyard is going to, after a little bit, seeing that guard's not going to be able to give him anything to help him. She winks over at Panesta and she looks at the guard and goes, "Oh, myself and Panesta, we have a early start in the morning. We probably better get some sleep, but we'll be glad to walk you home first before we go back to our ship. If you'd like to make sure you make it home, okay?"
Oh, I think, let me make a reaction. What's your charisma?
9.
9. Okay, and you gave him a drink, so I'll give you a +1 for that. So that's 7. You're 9, which I think has no bonus. No. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I think, and then he notices across the room, like, some of his friends, like other villagers. He's like, I think I'm gonna hang out with some of my friends tonight, but if you're in town for a few more nights, it's not like there's a lot of bars to come to, so if you like, maybe I'll get the drinks tomorrow night.
Oh, that's would sound wonderful. We'll have another dance too. Vanessa will play us a little bit livelier tune, maybe.
Oh yes, that was excellent. Thank you so much. And he kind of unsteadily walks towards some other people, and
When
as he
Rick
approaches
Hill
them, they're
gets
like,
up
"Norm."
when Brigio gets up to leave, she's going to when they walk by Bal's table, she'll kind of give him the nod that they're walking out, leaving.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I'm sorry. Callista will nod and like she's probably gonna like let Brighild and Panesta like go first, and then she'll like follow slightly behind. If that, I'm guessing that's what she wants me to do.
Yeah, and once we get outside, she'll look at Vanessa and go, he didn't have any kind of keys or anything that would help us. I guess we're gonna have to make some type of diversion then, so some of us can get into the hut.
Yep, and it appears that way. Looks like Bale and Muda will get to do what they want to do.
Oh, well, let's hope them two have not stirred up anything while we've been in here. I haven't heard any screaming and yelling, but that doesn't mean anything with them two.
Not Bale and I meant Basil and Muda. Sorry, Bale. Didn't mean to malign your good name there. So, yes. Okay. Let's find them and see what
Never
they're up to.
mind my good name, but that's fine.
You have
Oh, you know I
besmirched
love you,
my honor.
You had a good name?
You know I love you guys.
Yeah. So as you're kind of heading out kind of back out towards the ship area, from the ship area, we'll just kind of have everybody kind of coalesce, if you'd like to. You kind of see each other from a distance if you want to group up, or if you want to separate, or how you want to do it.
Yeah, Basil waves and asks everyone how things went.
Well, Basil, it did not go as well as we planned. The guard did not have any keys or anything on his body that would have helped us. So we're gonna have to go to Plan B, I would think, and someone's gonna have to create some kind of diversion while
You know,
some of us go in the hut.
the boys on the ship, our crew and we're just gonna have some night about the town. We're just drinking
Uh,
and
no, you're not, because as soon as we grab those children, everyone needs to be on the ship because we have to get the hell out of here. Do you not realize that?
hmm.
Because once we grab those children, it will be nothing but chaos, and we need to get on the ship and leave this port as soon as possible. Is that not correct, Vanessa?
She's got a point.
Yep, I think that's right. We don't want the crew to be all drunk. It was a good thought, Basil, but I don't think it's going to work in this situation. We don't need drunken sailors. I could sing a song about that, but I won't.
Oh, they've already been drinking.
Yeah, they've been.
It's
drinking.
okay. They're already 3 sheets to the wind. So
they're already drunk. Who got them drunk?
well, Bale just said, "Here, go ahead."
Well,
Help
I
yourself.
didn't know that they were going to be invited into town. I mean, there was a bunch of them. It was one little barrel. I didn't give them permission to get drunk. I gave them
One little
permission to have a
barrel.
drink.
One little barrel.
Yeah, they're sailors. If 7, 8, 9, 10 of them can't handle one little barrel, then what the hell kind of sailors are they?
Yes.
I mean, geez, what? I mean, I just don't understand. They can't get drunk off one barrel. I mean, what would you do with a drunken sailor?
Exactly.
Well, if it's early in the morning, you should all corral them and ship them off.
Hooray, and up she rises. All right. Are they drunk? Like, how drunk are they?
They don't look
How
too
mad
bad.
are Brighild and I?
Let's just say they're sad right now. They're sad drunks.
Yeah, they just want to go out and have some time in a shore leave. That's all. And I did promise them a little bit of a good time.
Yeah. And
Wow.
now they'll
Well-
probably just be mutinous now that
Yeah.
we're canceling their shore leave.
Well, Basil, when we get to the next port of call, you will be the first one to take all the crew ashore, and you will pay for all of their drinks and all their fun for that evening. How about that?
Well, if you insist, we will do that.
But
Yeah,
for
we'll get-
tonight, they need to be on the ship and be prepared to leave at a moment's notice.
So
Yeah.
did you get the keys?
No, I
Keys.
did not. But we will
Keys?
probably
Okay.
need your expertise to be the key.
Well, I'm going to go worship then.
Worship what?
Well, it's the only way I can get into town, right? I'm not going to trade. We have nothing left to trade. That's one of the things that the guard asks. Remember, he says,
he's
"What do you have?"
He's going to
And
get himself in trouble with prayer.
no, I'm not going to get myself in trouble with prayer.
Yes, you
I'm just
are.
going to go up there and worship. Then I'm inside the gates.
Yeah, you can say you're going to see the shaman to worship to give reverence to the crabmen.
And I'm already halfway there. I'm in the gates. I don't even have to worry about, I'm not climbing anything. I'm not hurting myself. All I got to do is tell one little white lie, and I'm through the gate.
Thieves.
Yeah.
Are you?
No. Just like that. And you know what? I'll even get a tattoo. If they want me to have a crab tattoo, I'll get a crab tattoo.
I don't think a crab tattoo is necessary, Buddha.
I might like it. I think it'd be nice right next to the big snake.
You,
Bale
are you
tries
okay?
to hold his laughter.
You're actually a very honest thief, Muda. Are you okay with telling this lie?
Well, I mean, it is for the children.
It is. Okay.
And I haven't had a heist in a while, so this is kind of exciting.
When you get the tattoo of the crab, you should get it in such a way that it looks like it's fighting your snake.
So does anybody else want to come worship with me?
I think I'm good.
We could all go. We could all be there. I mean, what are they going to do? Burn us all?
I mean, technically, yes. I suppose that could
No,
happen.
they're not going to do that. Who's going to burn all their followers? Nobody does that. That would be insane.
As long as we don't say anything bad, we should be okay.
Right. I'm not going to go in there and make fun of them. I'll just lie a little.
Well, in the past, I've seen you turn invisible, disappear from sights. Is that something that you can do to yourself, Muda?
Me? You've been drinking again.
Well, you're all of you are very talented in the ways of magic.
Yes.
I can go invisible, but we might need that in the escape. I might need to make one of you invisible or one of the children.
Could you make the children or all of yourselves invisible?
I can only make one person.
Right.
And it may be best, Vanessa, do you think, with the flying carpet, you can only probably take one of the children with you, though?
Right. 500 pounds. I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not that big. We could just throw them over the wall. I mean, if Bale comes in, right? I mean, he's big, he's strong. And then Muda, or I mean, somebody else is on the other side. We could catch them in blankets.
So long as you could get them out of the building, you could just simply fly them out.
I'll get them out of the building. That's no problem. It's just a simple lock.
So just a breakdown of the situation, just before, because you're going to make a plan, and I'll make sure that it's accurate. You guys know what's going on. So K6, which is where they are, you know that. I drew the map to the inside. Right behind it, those dashed lines, that's a berm that raises about 10 feet up. That's where they patrol. They walk around. You see them do that. On the other side of that, you see those scratchy lines. That is a 10-foot deep pit full of spikes.
Yes.
So throwing them over the walls, probably not. And the children are not like babies. They are, they're like 12 years old. So
you don't throw babies either.
They're like
I'm not saying you can't. They're like 12, 13 years old.
Oh, okay. So they're like young adults.
Yeah.
And
they're almost adventure
just so you have
age.
a fair idea of what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Well,
so, I'm not saying you
that
can't
completely
do that,
changes my perspective then.
Right. Yeah, they're not babies. They're like young. They're like 12, 13 years old.
I'm thinking we're dealing with like 3 or 4 year olds here.
No.
No.
Let me just check
Okay.
how old they are. I know they're not babies. Let me just quickly check.
And there are hyper.
They might be. Yeah, they're Hyperborean, so they're tall.
Yes. Okay. Well, forget about that.
I can fly one out on the carpet.
I would think, Vanessa, yes, you could take one and fly them out and
turn the other one invisible.
Maybe the wall between me and Bale and maybe Basil, we can get out the front gate with the other one, I hope.
Yeah, just put him on my back and tell him to hold on. And I'll just charge the hell out of there.
We can do this sneakily. Sorry.
We still need a diversion, though, on the other side of the village to distract some of the guards or some of the townsfolk or whatever. At least something needs to happen.
Well, Pinesta, how good are you at picking locks?
I'm not that kind of thief, love.
Oh, wow.
I don't have pick lock skill at all.
You don't? What
No.
kind of bard are you?
A good one. We should hear her sing.
I thought all bards knew how to pick locks.
She picks strings.
I pick strings, yeah.
If you need a diversion,
if
you need a diversion, then Bale just immediately points at Basil. He likes to wrestle people naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this time it's gonna be pretty obvious that we're putting on a diversion. If our plan is to escape in the boat as soon as we get the children, it needs to be something more direct. I'd say on the outer wall on the northwestern side, on the other side of that cell, we could go around and set fire to the outer wall edges.
Hold on. Why do you like setting things on fire?
Well, I didn't like setting things on fire.
I mean, why? Why?
Because they have to put out the fire.
Right.
And if there's a smoke and fire on the other side of the village, then where that cell is located, then the guards would be drawn over there instead of guarding that particular area.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea, Basil.
The man actually makes a good point. I mean,
I think you should do that. I would entrust you. Can you do this on your own now?
Yeah.
Maybe with your Roman friends.
Certainly don't want to encourage some pyromania, but it is a good idea.
We're not entrusting those Romans. They are too if and go. They're more concerned about their empire than anything else.
Oh,
well,
I created diversion with the Romans. All right. Oh yeah.
Well, if you don't believe you'll need my magic, I mean, this sounds like you're going to be kind of trying to sneak in and get out really quickly, and I am not a sneaky type, but I could teach you how to tell my bird to go home, which will make Rascal come back to the ship, and then I can tell the men to prepare the ship to leave. So you guys could send Rascal on your way back, like when you're coming back, and then the ship will already be ready for you.
Well, the ideal that was presented earlier, I think, is good with Pinesta. You know, she can definitely fly one out with no trouble to the ship. And if I hate to see her use her magics on it, but to turn the Everchild invisible and let myself and Bale and I guess Muda, maybe we can just go out the front gate and
yeah, I mean, if we can try to get them out right under their noses. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be on the carpet, and they'll probably see me, but the other one, if they don't know that you guys have him or her or them.
Well, you might want to let Muda and everyone get out of the gate first, so that they don't, I mean, if they see you leave, they might shut the gate to prevent Muda from leaving, since they know that Muda's with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it just makes it more fun. It would be challenging then. I mean, I'm just going to walk right in. I just can't walk out, too.
I would prefer safe over challenging.
Depends on what you like in life.
While they're continuing to discuss this plan, I'm going to tell Helene that she better go to her tent and pack her belongings and bring a bag and put it on board this ship if she's planning to go with us.
Say, Pinesta. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she agrees to that. She doesn't really she's all about saving the children, but she also doesn't necessarily want to be seen in the village, taking children, so she'll move to the ship. Because she
Well,
might have to come
that's
back
fine.
here.
Yes, of course.
You're about to burn a bridge, literally. She says.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. So she says, if you need me, call. But I think I'd prefer to not. I like you and all that, but we have just met.
No,
Well-
I get it.
Yeah.
But,
Well, maybe you can keep the crew from getting too inebriated from the cask of drink they have.
yeah. Basil snaps his fingers and points at Brighill and says, "That's an excellent idea." And he looks at Helene. He says, "If the crew get out of line," he points at the hammer, and then he just goes, "You knock them back in line again."
No problem, she says.
I didn't think you'd have an issue with that one.
Yeah, and she takes her hammer and hefts over her shoulder and walks back towards her tent.
So shall we go worship?
So real quick, where are our two stowaways? I just want to make sure they don't try to leave with the ship.
They are on the boat, as far as you know, since a couple hours ago when you all left. That's the last time you saw them. But they were They were given instructions to stay below.
Well, hopefully
last time I
Helene
was.
will scare them enough so they don't. Yeah, I don't. You sure that we can trust them on the ship, Basil?
I'll take them with me.
You gonna go back to the ship and get them? Right. Currently, you're all standing kind of in the middle of this intersection, having this
Yes.
conversation.
Oh, well, I don't even have Rascal with me then.
Yeah, you all were heading towards well, you were at the bar, right? Some of you, and then some of you were leaving the bar and heading towards the bar, and you kind of coalesced in the center.
I'll go. Callista's going to go with Basil if he's going to be burning the bridge, because she can also help burn the bridge if need be.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, are you going to go back to the ship and see where they're at, or are you just going to trust that they're still where you left them?
I'll tell
Vanessa,
Helene. Oops, sorry.
but I was just going to say, Vanessa, I know that you're concerned about those two men. I don't trust them at all either, but I say that my just wise judgment right now is not to worry about them. If they do something foolish, we'll address them when we find them.
Okay.
The Amazonian will keep him in line. And then he kind of looks at Helene. He says, you tell those two scallywags at the bottom of the boat that they're there to help make the ship ready to depart. Because we'll need to leave in a hurry. And if they're in the way or if they're not helping, then they're dead weight. And the sailor doesn't need to be told what happens to dead weight.
In other words, just push them overboard and hope they can't swim.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with that, but you know.
Well, they can swim because that's how they get out there. But yes.
I don't think they'll do anything dumb. I mean, they definitely don't want to come back to this island.
Nope, I don't think so either.
Should I take them with me on the other side of the town?
I
No,
wouldn't, because if they
no, I
get
do
seen,
not
the
trust
gig is
them.
up. If you get seen, it's okay, but if they get seen with you, then people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but we all realize that once we rescue the children, we would not be able to come back to this town anymore.
Right, but what if you get seen with those guys before we rescue the kids?
Basil, we do not trust those men. They are not going with you. If Callista wants to go and help you, that's probably a decent idea.
How
For
about
me,
it,
my
Russ?
friend, it's not even trust. It's just, I just think it's a bad idea.
I'm not understanding why you're talking about bringing them with you when they're on the ship and we're on the island.
Just to keep an eye on them.
Right, but we're not going to go back to the ship to get them. That'd be a waste of time.
We got some time to kill. We have to wait until it's really dark.
Yeah, well, I'd say
Speaking-
leave them on the ship either way.
Or we can go right
Speaking
now.
of that, Daniel, what time is it?
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, the sun's, oh, actually, right, sun goes down here actually pretty early this time of year. Sunset was at 4:05, so it's probably like, let's see, you went over there. It's maybe like 8 p.m., so it's fairly dark. I mean, the sun's been down for a while now. Saturn has not touched the horizon, but or rose over the horizon yet, so it's still pretty dark. Yeah.
Well, Callista, I could use your help if you would travel with me, because the ways that I could set fire to that outer edge of the wall, it's fairly limited. I'm gonna need some oil, and I'm gonna need something to set the spark. But I don't think it's gonna be nearly large enough to draw attention.
Can't you just make flaming arrows?
I can, but they would.
The wall is a berm of dirt,
Oh.
but there is a pit full of spikes that are wooden. You could light that on fire if that's what you're talking about. That's what I assume you're talking about.
Yeah.
So flaming arrows wouldn't do a whole heck of a lot for that. You'd have to do
Yeah.
something more elaborate.
I
if you wanted
thought-
that on fire.
I thought we were just gonna burn the bridge, like after Muda and the others passed over it. Like when they're leaving, I thought we were just gonna set the bridge on
oh.
fire.
That
No.
was a no. You
Oh.
misunderstood.
Okay. Well,
Right.
yeah.
That was
Either
just
way,
Helene
I'll.
making a. She was making a comment. She didn't.
Yeah. Okay. I misunderstood. That's fine. But either way, Callista will go with Basil to help him out.
Yeah, so out of character, my plan is to go to the other side of the town, like near K9, actually a little further west than K9. And from there, he's gonna, try something to set fire on those wooden spikes, or do that very close to the town wall, so that the guards that are patrolling the edges of the wall would be drawn over there to try and put the fire out.
Okay. Right. So currently, just so you know what you can see, you've basically got two guards that are walking along this raised area. So like this is, I'll make some dots to kind of show you. This is like the path that they take, like this, right? So kind of going around. And then when they get here, of course, this drawbridge is generally up. So it would be in the they have to jump down and they climb back up and they go here and they continue to circle around. There's two of them, and they kind of like cross each other. So they're going like this. One's going clockwise, the other one counterclockwise, if you will. And that's the only guard you see, regularly walking around the wall. Yep, that's all you see. Like I say, these areas here, this is all spiky pits. And then the flat area up here is a 10-foot berm, so that's just dirt. Yeah. So you could definitely do that. You can go over there and try to put some fire to the pit, I guess, of spikes. If you want to get a fire in there, you'd probably be better off getting some branches from the woods and bringing them in there and throwing them in the pit, because you're looking at just like literally sticks coming up in the air. They're not really touching each other. So you could probably set a couple of them on fire, but if you want to make a bigger blaze, you're going to have to like get some brush or something. So, I mean, you can certainly do that. It's dark. You can go into the woods if you'd like.
Yeah,
What could possibly bother you in the woods?
Is the wall like? Is it just like a dirt mound that goes up and like the guards can see as if they were looking down?
It is a berm, so it's
that my
basically a
understanding?
bump. It's a bump, basically. It's dirt just piled up with a flat top. It's 10 feet tall.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but it's not like it's just a dirt. Basically, they dug a 10-foot pit and they put that dirt on the other side. So it's a bump of dirt. Yeah. So if they're standing on the wall, like they can see you right now. They can see above all the houses. Any guard standing anywhere on that wall can see pretty much any place that's exposed. I suppose if they were standing like over here, they might not be able to see somebody that's like out over here, let's say, because the trees are in the way. But for the most part, as soon as you get close to the village, you're going to be seen by anybody on the wall, unless you're very stealthy. Or if they're just not looking in that direction.
I mean, I honestly don't see why we don't just hide like here, like towards the edge of the woods. And like, I mean, we can, let's see how to do the, I mean, because we could like, because we're here now, so we could just go here and then come out to the edge like here. And then we could literally, like, once Muda and everyone comes back, actually burn that bridge down so the guards can't follow us out back to the boat. Like, I mean, I don't see why we don't do that.
Yeah,
don't-
I think, I mean, I could be missing, maybe let me interpret what I think everybody's saying. I think the problem with your, or problem with the reason why this is not what people were saying is because what Yang is trying to do is a distraction so that Muda can get the children, which means burning the
Oh.
bridge after he gets the children would not be a distraction, which is why I think they're
Yeah.
not saying. What
Okay.
you're talking about is stopping people from following, which of course is very
Yep.
reasonable as well.
Okay,
Am
I
I wrong in
understand.
say that? I'm just trying to interpret what people are saying. But I think what they're looking for is a way to get the guards away from the area where the building is.
Okay.
But yeah, you could certainly set a fire over there, Basil. You'll just have to go into the woods and get some brush.
Well,
So is that what you do?
what if, like, Basil goes through with his plan, like he's gonna wait over here, right, and set a fire over by like K9, so that would be the distraction, and then once and then Callista can wait over by the bridge, and once she sees Muda go across the bridge, she can then burn the bridge down, and then that way we get the best of both worlds.
Well, Basil, also maybe it would be a better idea to pile some of the brush up along the edge of the wood line and just set the forest on fire. Maybe that would draw their attention. There would be more fuel there for the fire.
True.
But your ideal, Callista, with the bridge, I don't know. I have mixed feelings both way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that ideal. If there was to be a entourage trying to chase us across it, I mean, that's a very smart ideal, but it also is somewhat time consuming, but maybe you would get caught there while the rest of us were making our way back to the ship.
I mean, I could hide in the woods here, and I don't see how.
Well,
I mean,
no,
if
I
you
mean,
don't want
as
me to
far
do
as
it,
I mean, as far as once you got to the bridge itself, to set that bridge is not going to be easy to set on fire. I don't think it's going to be time consuming.
And you
Yeah,
might
it's a
have
big, heavy
people
bridge.
running up from the village. You might have people running up from the village.
Yeah, shooting like 1 or 2 fire arrows into a bridge is not going to burn it down. If you
I
really
mean,
want to
I
burn
have
the bridge,
fireball.
you'd have to. That would burn it down.
Yeah, that's what I
Very
was
likely.
thinking. That's why I was saying Callista could do that.
Well, there you go.
If you
Oh,
want
yeah,
to try
most
Celeste,
certainly.
I would not stop you, of course. I mean, I'm worried for your safety once if we're all closer to the ship and so you had to put up a fight with some people there alone.
Well, I mean, if something happens, then and at least I know that we rescued these children. I mean, no matter what we do, there's always going to be a risk in our line of work,
Well, that
and
is
I would
true.
rather die knowing I did something good.
I wonder if he'll sell me the book.
What book?
The guard. I wonder if he'll sell me his book.
Or if you just go in there and knock on the head, you can just take it.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, what if I just knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm leaving soon. I hear you got this great good book. I'll give you a couple of gold pieces," and he opens the door for us.
Well,
Is that what
yes,
you like
that's
to
what
do?
I thought you were going to do anyway. Just going to walk up there and use your little charm.
It's true. I am quite charming, aren't I?
You can be, yes.
Certainly can.
Humble.
Just start juggling.
Okay. What is it that you're going to do? As you stand in the middle of the place with the guards who keep
yes.
circling around, watching the group of people hanging out in the circle. Dressed
Hey,
in
we're no
full
worse
armor
than the
with
Romans
weapons and-
just hanging out.
Well, the Romans are back at the thing playing dice. They're not in the place pointing at the tree line and talking about.
Well, this is one way of creating the diversion.
Sure. It's not like your ship has like the name of the ship printed on the side. You just did trade with them.
We're just sitting there like yelling out, and then we'll just set the bridge on fire.
Yes.
I said we should try to do this as stealthy as we can.
Okay.
So
Then you
Basil
probably
comes
don't want
back.
me along.
You went to the boat, Basil?
No, he just came back. Where was he actually?
I don't know. You were talking about possibly going back to the boat and seeing if those two guys were
No,
okay,
he-
but then they told you not to worry about it.
Yeah, so he's just gonna go with Colesta and navigate his way to the other side of the town.
Basil, did
Okay.
you understand that we maybe it would be easier to set the forest on fire and create a bigger diversion by just setting it on fire?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could do that. Forest fire.
Yes.
Only you can prevent forest fire, but we're setting the forest on fire instead.
I'm
Good, you
sure the
guys are not a
shaman
druid
will have
anymore.
no problems with that. The reckless destruction of hundreds of innocent animals.
I
Well,
mean,
the shaman wants us to get the kids because
Yeah.
she said that holding children brings curses. So
Okay.
All right, yeah. So now we're gonna set the forest on fire. So Colesta's gonna use fireball or something.
well, like Calesta's gonna be here, and then the thought is you could shoot some fire arrows into like the trees over here. I mean, you could. I don't like. I think you could shoot like 120 yards, right? So I don't know if you could be over here and reach that, but
I
I'm
mean,
guessing so.
is it a fairly dry place or is it humid?
It's there.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it snowed yesterday, but not a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, let me check the weather. Yeah, it snowed yesterday. It's foggy, actually. So, no, it's not humid at all. Well, it's humid, but it's humid, right? I should say it's not dry. It is actually
I mean,
you want now
Basil's-
shooting fire arrows?
Yeah, Basil's gonna shake his hand and says, "You know, I don't think that's a good idea. If I just shoot fire arrows, that's not gonna set the whole forest on fire. You know
we
that,
don't
right?"
need the whole forest on fire. We just need a big enough fire to distract the guards. Ideally, actually, it should be fairly easy to put the fire out.
Yes, but I disagree. He's not going to be able to start it very well with arrows. He's going to have to do it by hand, by putting some debris together and setting it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay. So you're going to, are you going to go through the woods to get over there? Or are you just going to kind of walk around the town?
He's
What
gonna
is your
walk around the
approach there?
town.
Okay, yeah. All right, you circle around to over in this general direction. You said somewhere west of 9, so it goes over here. K9, I should say. All right, what's everybody else doing? That's Basil and Calesta walking.
Well, Calesta's actually going to wait over here.
Okay, so you're going to walk into the woods. Okay, so you're in the woods.
Like right at the wood line, so that she can't be seen.
Okay. You're going to go in the woods, so over here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Basil's gonna look back and says, "Colesta, are you not coming with me?"
I mean, I'm gonna wait here because if, like, once you cause the distraction and the Muda runs across the bridge, I'm gonna burn the bridge.
She doesn't need to be where there's going to be close quarters fighting.
I understand.
Bale is going to be just hanging there with whoever's going inside to go get the kids.
So Buddha.
He figures that's where he should be.
and me, I think I have to go, right? If I'm gonna fly one out, I have to go.
Yep, and I'm going also.
Okay. All right, that's good. So you guys walk up to the, Cluster goes over and stands in the woods. Basil walks around the side. You get to the drawbridge there. It's up, obviously. And, of course, they see you walking over to it. So they come, one of the guards that's closest to, they're doing a circle. So one of them, I guess they wouldn't do that because that wouldn't make sense. They go opposite so that they're on opposite sides. They go like this, I guess. So they both go the same direction. One gets to the drawbridge and he calls over to you. He says, it's late for trading.
Who's he say
Well-
that to?
To the group who just approached them.
Oh, nonsense! Never too late for trade and commerce.
So
Yes, we were coming in to see the shaman of your village. We have something to trade her for some of the herbs that she has. She should be expecting us, I believe.
Oh, that was perfect. You hear a voice, a female voice at that. And she says, I am expecting you, actually. And the dropper
yes.
starts to go down.
good.
This doesn't sound at all like what we planned.
And the drawbridge lowers, and the guard, the guard's on the side. He drops it down, and she kind of standing in the street. She looks, and she walks out towards you.
What's the guard doing? He's just standing there.
Yeah, he's standing there because he has to raise it back up, the drawbridge. He's got like a crank or whatever that you run to rig. He's just standing there waiting for her. You actually can see him now because basically the crank is on the ground. He had to jump down to get to the crank. Yeah, and so you can see him. He's just standing there next to the crank, waiting for her to walk across the bridge. Assuming that you're not going to walk to meet her halfway, she'll come up to you where you are.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just start making small talk or whatever.
Yeah, we'll go up there.
So about that time that she's kind of walking out towards you, Basil, who of course doesn't know any of this, you've come to the other side now where there's the forest line. You could see. I mean, it's evergreen, so there's like pine needles and stuff on the ground. So you think you could probably start a fire with a little bit of effort if you make a pile of stuff.
Yeah, he looks around for dry branches.
Yeah. I mean, it's not perfectly dry, but with a little bit of you probably have tinder and stuff. You can probably get it going. You'll probably take you a couple minutes once you assemble a pile of like needles, like the brown dried up needles.
So northwestern corner of the map over there, right now, the place where I'm clicking, that's where he is, and he's gonna, right behind the first tree line, he's gonna pile these things up and take a little moment to gather enough of them to make a little bonfire.
Okay, yeah, so you're doing that.
And he's gonna wait for Calesta's signal with that bird, because that was the understanding.
There's no bird symbol.
There's
The
no bird, I know.
No,
You're the
we-
distraction.
the
You're supposed to
crow.
go first.
Yeah,
the crow, right?
there's
Okay.
no crow.
Okay. Yeah.
The crow's on the boat, so I couldn't do it.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess he's gonna wait for a little while.
While Callista is standing in the forest, she's going to take out one of her almonds soaked in vinegar, and she'll down it and cast mirror image on herself. And it lasts for 2 rounds, which is like 2 hours per caster level.
2 rounds or 2 turns?
2 rounds.
A round is 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. A round is 10 seconds. And how long is a turn? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay. She'll cast shield instead, which will last for 2 turns.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you do that. The shaman kind of comes out to you, and she looks at the group, and she says, while it is important to protect life, taking life in mass quantities is not justified. And she kind of scowls.
Well, we have no plans for taking of life unless it is to defend ourselves or defend the children. Hopefully they will be subdued. Any guards will be subdued without giving their lifeblood, I would hope.
The spirits have told me your wild mage has planned to destroy anyone who steps across this bridge. Would she destroy me?
I don't think her plan was to kill people. And we certainly wouldn't hurt you. You've been kind to us. We are going to do a job for you. if you don't want her to do that. If this is a big problem for you, we'll have to send someone back to tell her to not.
This is my home. To burn and destroy my home. That is not a friendly gesture. Then she turns around and starts walking back over the bridge.
Brickhill will look towards Finesta and Bale and Muda and go, I will. You three must go on. You have the things that need to be. I will go and stop Callista and let her know what has changed. And I guess I will wait at the bridge. And
Stop Callista. Maybe you should stop Basil.
Yeah, about that time you see smoke rising up over as the forest starts to go on fire. Oh yeah, nice.
yeah, we do see the smoke and stuff for sure.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
should probably smell it first, I would guess. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Basil tired of waiting for the bird as a signal or something. He's like, I'm confused. Am I supposed to wait for her crow, or am I supposed to light it on fire as soon as I get here? He taps his helmet for a little while and says, well, another 10 minutes or so, and if I don't hear anything, I'm just going to set this thing on fire.
Yeah, you were supposed to be the distraction, so your plan was to set it on fire. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does so.
Brickhill's
I know you stepped
smelling the
away for a
smoke.
second, like you stepped away, so you didn't catch that part. But yeah, you start to
Brickhill's
smell the
smelling the
burning.
smoke will just look and go, you three do what needs to be done. I've got to go and stop Callista. We don't want any undue harm to anyone.
No, we don't really want to upset the shaman of the village. So.
Right.
So Brickhill's going to try to get back across the bridge to the outside and hopefully find Callista somewhere in the wood line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys were just at the edge of the bridge.
I touch Pinesta on the arm, and I say, perhaps we should reassure that woman. She walked away angry. Perhaps we should reassure her.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm all for reassuring people that could kill us.
Can we go after her?
Well, I mean, as you start to cross the bridge, of course, the guard that let down the thing says, no weapons are permitted in the village. You'll have to leave your weapons with me.
He goes, Muda starts unloading everything.
Okay.
A rusty knife, a stone.
Wait a minute. This whole time I haven't been able to take my hammer into the village?
You have not been in the village before. You were in the travelers' village. Now you're entering into this village here.
Yeah.
Where did the... Okay. Is this also where
the bar and everything
Helene's...
is down in K5. You've never been inside the main part of the village.
Okay, so Helene's tent and all that stuff was out there in the travelers'
in K4.
place.
Yep.
Well, shit. Okay.
But also, Bale, remember, because you would know this from what we were told, there's weapons in that K6 tent.
Yep.
Yeah, but not my weapon.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be something if you need it to get back to yours.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest with you. If we knew that, would we have known that weapons were not allowed inside this ring fort?
Well, I knew. Yeah, I've been giving them up every time.
Then I wouldn't.
That, yeah.
Then I wouldn't have even brought it with me.
Okay.
I would have. I would have left it on the ship and betted on taking one from somebody inside.
That's fine.
What about daggers? Can we at least have daggers with us? I mean, that's like a tool as much as anything else.
That's why I'm leaving a rusty knife and a stone.
Well, I'm asking Daniel because sometimes no weapons, the daggers don't count.
No, they ask you for all of your weapons, including a dagger. Right?
So he growls.
You don't need to. You're not eating it here. You're not doing anything you would need a dagger for, except for stabbing somebody. So you don't bring a dagger in. You're unknown. So no.
You never know when you may. I take my dagger out and I'm like, you never know when you may have to cut rope or something. But fine, so be it. And he hands the dagger over.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're just asking me for clarification, but if you're at all argumentative, he just won't let you in.
No,
I mean,
in
he's
character,
not
he
dead.
just would have. In character,
yeah.
he just would have said, you never know when you might need a dagger for something not killing, but so be it." And then he hands it over to him. He
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't.
I mean, this guy's not arguing with anybody. This is
Yeah.
standard procedure. Nobody's ever questioned before.
Yeah, I
He's
give
just
him
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Give him
All right, yeah.
sword.
So he takes him just before he takes him. He's got like a little area over there, but he leans him up against the same place you picked him up before. He literally brings you over with the he says, "I gotta take your weapons." And then you like walk over with him, like right next to K6, which is where you leave the weapons, and you kind of lean him together against the wall. You can see in front of K6 there's a guard standing there, and the door is closed, of course. And then once
I'll
you
go up
all
to the.
drop,
Can I go
Okay.
up to the guard by K6?
yeah, once you hand over your weapons, he doesn't really bother you to. He knows
Yeah,
you've been in there.
I'll go
before,
up
he
there and I'll
doesn't-
say, "Hey, I saw your friend. He was reading a book earlier, and I was wondering. I'm going to be leaving on the ship soon. I was wondering if I could talk to him about the book. I'd love to buy it.
Which friend?
I don't. I mean, he's a guard. I saw him over here earlier. I'm assuming he was there. I mean, what
Okay.
was the name of the book? It was something at midnight.
All right. Well, I mean, I can ask around. When are you leaving? I'm on duty right now. I really can't leave.
But he was inside.
Inside the year?
Yeah.
Well, how would you see him then?
Well, I was in here earlier. Didn't you see me?
No, there was a different shift of guards earlier.
Well,
So if he was in there earlier, oh, I think that guy went over to the Bloody Bucket to meet up with some adventurers to drink. That's
he did.
That's Shaman.
Well, do you guys share books?
No.
You don't share books?
I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes. I think it was Midnight Bride. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. I've not read it, but I bet you he has it. So
can I knock on the door and just ask if he left it there? Because I'll pay you a couple of gold for it. It's a long voyage. I'd love to have something juicy to read.
You think it's in here?
I think so.
Kind of shrugs his shoulder, and he turns around and knocks on the door. You hear a voice from inside. What's going on? There's a little guy out here that says you have a book, or there's a book in there that he wants to buy.
It's Muda. Muda Adi. Not a little
He's a
guy.
Muda.
Muda Adi. Don't forget that.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Where is that? Is that on the other side of Hyperborea?
Yes,
Muda?
I'm Lemurian. Don't forget that. Muda Adi.
Oh, I didn't think there were any more Lemurians.
Yeah, well, see, now you're looking at one.
Oh. So by now, everybody's giving up their stuff, and the other guard goes back up on top. He closes, of course, the drawbridge, so it's closed again, and gets up and starts on his patrol again. Of course, the woods are on fire now. So you do hear a little bit of people kind of loud voices, and then you hear what sounds to be a very, very heavy rain moving in, and now you're standing outside, and there's a pouring torrential rain over the entire area, and the fire goes out, and you're all quite wet. Switching out to Breakhild in the woods, you probably see Calestra out there, like a bunch of Calestras. No, you didn't do that cast spell. So,
Yeah, I didn't do there. I just did shovel, shield.
Yeah, you're standing under the trees, but it's raining so hard that it's probably still pelting against you. As you see Breakhild approaching you.
Brickhill sees this storm come out of nowhere and is beginning to wonder already where it's come from, but she ignores that for a moment. She goes, Calesta, we've got a change of plan. I had to come and stop you. The shaman has foreseen you using the powers you're going to use, and it would have caused irreparable harm between our agreement. It would have probably caused some death. We cannot use what you were going to use. We're going to have to hope that those three are able to get the children and come out. And if we have to do any type of fighting, it's going to have to be hand to hand. We cannot use any magics here to burn or destroy this village. I hope you understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to upset the shaman for sure. She's been very good to us.
I told her we will have to defend ourselves or defend whatever to protect the children if we have to, but we'll have to do it in other manners. But we do nothing now but wait, I guess.
Hmm. I have other magics that can help us that are not as destructive. That are not destructive.
I'm worried about this storm that has come up very sudden. Will not be surprised that the shaman has not called it upon us. Maybe I
Oh
smelled
yes.
smoke while we were in there. I think Basil was well onto his way of doing the diversion, but it may not have lasted long.
Well, the storm itself may give us a good diversion.
It could.
Indeed.
We'll stand here and wait.
Oh yes, you find the best cover you can under the trees. Basil, out there in the woods, it just starts like a crazy downpour, and you were stoking the fire and getting the smoke up, but even under the trees, it seems to be getting doused.
Yeah, at that point he gives up. He's like, it is impossible to start a forest fire like this, and he just picks up and heads back on the other direction. So he's actually walking around in a full circle.
So you step out of the woods now after you just did this
Yeah.
and walk around. Yeah, they didn't see you at all. Okay, yeah, so back inside. Yeah, he knocks on the door, and yeah, sure, the guy inside is like, well, I have a book, but I haven't finished it yet. How does he know I have a book?
I'll pay you good money. I saw you reading it earlier.
How'd you see it earlier?
Well, you left the door open.
So the guy outside the door now kind of looks at you and says, this door has not been open since he's been in there.
Oh, that's not true. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to see it. Besides, you said yourself you weren't here. You were on a different shift.
No, he started the shift when I did. Muda
Oh,
Adi.
he did. That's
Yeah.
right. But I know the book is in there because the other guy had it. And if he's reading the book, I'm assuming that he's reading the same book that the other guy had. Midnight Bride, am I correct? And it was on the bench between the girl and the boy. Oh, I know there's a girl and a boy in there too. Amazing. How would I know that if I hadn't seen in there before?
Yeah, he reaches up onto his neck and blows a whistle.
Yep, saw that coming.
Okay.
And he lowers his spear.
Can I
And he
scream
says,
yet?
yeah, you all hear this wizard. You all hear this whistle below. He lowers his spear at you and he says, this smacks of sorcery.
Sorcery? I'm not a sorcerer. Look at me. I'm too short to be a sorcerer.
Yes, you won't be much food for the crabs, but you might be a nice fire once this storm ends.
Oh, the crabs don't want me. Trust me.
And
No,
coming
go
around the
ahead.
corner-
Try it. Try to stick me in the water once. See what happens. They won't want me. But
What's
anyway,
everybody else doing as Mood is having this conversation? This other, oh, by the way, of course, the guy that was on the wall, the people on the wall now turn. They turn inwards so they see you, but you can see that they're also very cautious. They're kind of looking around. Obviously, everybody hears this whistle. Basil, you see the guy on the wall that's been looking at you as you've been walking around, kind of like he starts to pace with you, like he's on the wall, but he's kind of following you.
And
He's
then
not saying anything yet, but
Basil looks at him and he says, he waves at him and says, I was looking to find some of you. There's fire in the woods. I need some help in putting it out. I think the rain may have put it out already.
well, there's something going on. Go back to your ship.
All right. But just remember, there is some smoke back there.
Mhm. So let me see. So what's everybody else doing as he blows his whistle and this? Clearly, he's not buying this
Yeah, I'll
That's
just
fine.
say,
anymore.
he's Lemurian and they don't know sometimes how to interact. Very sorry to have bothered you. We'll leave now. Let's just get out.
He
No,
won't.
I'm not leaving until I get the book.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's going to stay, but you all can leave. We'll
See?
bring your weapons out to you.
He wants
And
me
you
to have
see-
the book too.
Yeah, he says we're going to lower the drawbridge. You're going to walk out, and then once you do that, we'll bring your weapons out to you.
I look at Muda and I say, we won't leave without you.
Oh, that's okay. I know you won't.
Well,
Okay.
you could have
Which
his bones
building-
tomorrow.
Yeah, the crabs are going to pick me clean. He just kind of
building
looks and
are we in
shrugs
again?
at him.
We're K6, Vale. K6.
Oh, the one with all the weapons in it.
Well, you're not in it. You're standing outside.
Standing outside of it. Okay.
Yeah. The only weapons near you, besides the spears that are pointed at you, are the ones that you just handed over to them.
Right. But we're standing right there in front of the door at K6. How many guards are there again?
At this exact moment, 2. But you heard a
but
whistle
he-
blow, and there are feet stomping.
Shit.
Yeah, we need to come back for him
Yeah.
somehow.
And Muda's fine. He just kind of holds up his hand. He sees the look in your eye. And he just smiles and waves you off, Bale.
Well, I was thinking this was going to be a great distraction, but not now. They're like making all of us leave. So
Well, it's usually best not to do the distraction right in front of the door that you have to enter into.
well, I mean,
I don't think he meant it as a distraction.
you never know with that Muda guy.
That's right. He's a little crazy. Yeah. So you, if around the corner come 12 of these guys.
Oh boy.
Well,
With spears, and they,
Yes.
they kind of just sit there. Then the guy in front of the door says, take these. He points at everybody but Muda. 6 of you take these out the gate and bring their gear, and then the other 6 gather around Muda and point their spears at him.
yeah.
I just look at Muda and say, we won't, I just kind of nod and I will leave because there's not much I can do right now. So.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm sorry. All I wanted was a book.
Yeah. So
Let's see.
they'll do
Yeah, I
exactly
start-
that if you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say we start ushering them out. I'm just going to kind of make the comment of I don't see how a man is accused of sorcery when all he did was open his eyes and look. But hey, hey,
Because he said he knew what was going on inside.
well, oops.
Yep,
And I
it's
keep
okay.
ushering people out the door.
Okay, we'll figure it out. I just can't do anything against 12 people without
Oh, no.
weapons, and yeah.
Even with weapons.
Yes,
Nothing.
assuming that you do as you're told, they'll kind of you cross the drawbridge, you get a little bit away from it, and then a couple guys come out and bring your stuff, and you kind of hand it to you. I mean, they're not particularly. I mean, they're on edge, but they're not particularly hostile. I mean, they're not like jabbing you or anything. They just kind of.
I just
know,
kind of
put yourself
wave and
down
go, Rel abides.
Yeah, the two while you're in there, there's there's 6 guys around you. They're gonna, unless you somehow resist, they're going to bind your hands and feet.
Okay.
And at this point, another 10 guards join, making a total of 22.
Wow.
And yeah, the gate goes back up. The drawbridge goes back up.
Do
And
me
you
and
see
Calesta,
Basil
I guess-
whistling.
Do we see
Go ahead.
Bale and Panesta coming out?
Yep, you see them come out with basically at spear point with 6 guards.
I think I got him
And,
preoccupied.
Yeah, you do. And of course you see the guards bring their gear out and kind of, drop it off and then raise back the drawbridge unless you want to do something during that period.
Bricchio looks towards Calesta and goes, let's keep along the wood line and make our way back to the dock and wait on them.
I don't
Yeah, we'll go.
see Muda with them.
I cannot wait to hear what has happened.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet 1 gold piece that it was Muda's fault.
Well, this time it was not Basil because he was on the other side of the village.
Indeed.
Yeah, you see Basil come, walking around whistling or whatever.
Yeah.
That guard's still like pacing him on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Basil, you see the same thing. You see your friends being ushered out of the building, so as so to speak, with at spear point, and then the broad drawbridge closing.
Yeah, he joins the rest of the group and says, "So what went down?"
Yeah, this seems like a perfect time for a break, and you can explain to Basil what went down when we get back in a few minutes. Oh boy. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, currently the party is, well, actually, sorry, Callista, oh, good's back. Callista and Brighild are following the tree line back towards the ship. Bale and Penesta and Basil are headed down the path back towards the ship, I assume. And Muda is being, you know how when they have like a pig roast, they tie the pig onto a stick. That's essentially what's happened to Muda back in the town. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? Fortunately for you, it's raining really hard. So.
I mean, Brig will wait at the end of the dock or whatever till Bale and Vanessa catch up with him.
Well, from what I can figure, if everyone's gathered around one area, then the other side of the town is unguarded. We could fly back there and infiltrate, wait for an opportune moment while being hidden, and try and get the children out that way.
Well, we do have now a small problem of one of our party members is going to be burned alive.
They probably wouldn't kill him right away if what we saw of our friend Calestos? What's his name?
Yeah, the guy you helped rescue? Well, actually, remember, they burned his brother immediately and then left him there to starve for 3 days.
And they're all Thanos.
Now that you do mention it, yeah, his brother was burnt right away.
What did Muda do, Vanessa, to draw the ire of the guard so quickly?
He first, it was going well. He was mentioning the book that he wanted to get. But then he mentioned seeing the boy and the girl in there. And I think that made them very suspicious.
Well, I think it's a fine distraction for now. If there's a way to turn ourselves invisible, it would be a good opportunity to fly in there and wait for an opportunity to spring all of them out.
Do you plan to just snap your fingers and do a little dance and turn invisible, Basil? I mean,
I've seen you do it. Well, not you, but I've seen Calesta do it in the past. And also Panesta as well. And she's the one with the flying carpet.
we're not all going to be able to go in there invisible, and whatever chance we had of pulling this off without much problem is over with now.
I doubt that, because there are some 20 guards concentrated in one area. It leaves a whole lot of that town unguarded. So long as we could find a entryway on the other side by flying in, not all of us, just one or two, or perhaps Panesta all by herself.
I don't know. They're pretty edgy now because they kind of know something's up.
I'm not the stealthiest, but if you'd let me, I would try and sneak in there or fly in there.
Do you want Vanessa to turn you invisible and you try that? I mean, if you get caught, we're not coming for you.
I understand that.
I don't think it's worth the risk.
No, it's not. Not at this moment, because it's like those giant hills. I mean, once you stir them up, they are running around everywhere looking for something to bite.
They found what they're looking for.
Well, I just think we need to think for a second. I don't want to risk another party member, Basil.
Right.
Okay. So as you're kind of standing, what did you guys go back onto the boat, or you kind of, where are you exactly? I'll tell you what you think.
I guess on the dock, unless somebody else wanted us to go on the boat.
I think we're on the dock. I think that's what you said. I think that's where we
Okay.
met.
Yeah, if you guys are on the dock, you'll definitely see this. The rain is starting to let up. You see the drawbridge come down, and about a dozen men carrying, two in the front, two in the back, and then others around with spears, carrying a long pole with a one muda, a D, strung up in between, carrying him out into the area. So Muda, what are you thinking here as you're being carried out into the free space between the drawbridge and what may be your last home, we'll call it, at least as far as they're concerned.
I'm just kind of he's just going along with it right now.
Yeah. Rel's with you.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, it goes, these are kind of loose. I could probably, if I really wanted to twist my wrists enough, could wiggle out of here. But I wouldn't want to say that you guys aren't doing your job, but you might want to check these again.
The guy looks and smiles at you and he says, it's good that you're talking to me. He's up in the front. Because you see that man in the back? He would loosen that by cutting your wrist off.
Oh, so you're in charge?
I'll just do this. And he reaches up and breaks your pinky.
I go, oh, ow, that hurts. If I had to do what I do for a profession and worried about pain and death, I wouldn't do this. Ow.
Okay. He reaches forward and breaks your other pinky. Now you have two broken
Damn.
pinkies.
I
That's
go,
the easiest finger to break.
oh, yep. Okay. I think you're getting your point across, but still, weak men break fingers. You should probably go for an arm or something. That would cause infection. But I know you're saving me for the crabs because you're not really the big guy, are you?
Oh, no. We're not saving you for the crabs, he laughs.
Oh, you're not? So
No,
that's
no.
okay. No.
No. Not at all. And then by now you're starting to walk towards where these, K3 area.
Okay.
And he, the guys that are on the side, of course, the rest of the party sees this. So they stop, and the guys that were on the sides with the spears, they kind of stay with the spears pointed. But two of them take daggers from their sides and start to cut your clothes off, whatever clothes you're wearing. And just cut them off and drop them onto the ground.
Okay. Now that's painful. That is painful because, the cold is probably worse for me than breaking my pinkies. But that's okay. You go ahead and do that.
Oh, don't worry. You won't be cold for long.
Okay.
So do we have any idea this is happening at all?
Oh, you're watching it. You're probably like 20 feet away. You're on the docks. They are, if you look at the map and roll 20, let me shrink this just in case anybody watching. They are here, right by K3. And you guys are on the docks. You're somewhere around here, like this. You can go back to the ship. So you're maybe like 20 feet away from them. You hear Muda mouthing off, and they're just kind of going about their thing.
Oh boy. Okay. Perhaps I should summon an animal to distract to do this and send him in there, and then we can pretend like we're going to help them get the animal gone and grab Muda. I don't know. What do you guys?
I go, I'll be right back, and I slip off down the dock. I'm like, I can't watch this. I cannot watch this. And I start storming off toward the ship so I can go get my hammer.
Okay. They begin to anoint Muda in oil.
I think the time of ruse is gone. It's time for us to battle.
Yep.
Basil,
How
you know,
many are there?
A dozen of them. There's six that
Basil.
are pointing spears. Sorry, let me just grab the scene. There's six that kind of are guarding with spears. There's four that are holding the they all have spears, but there's four that are holding Muda up, and then there's two more that are now dousing him in oil. Go ahead, John.
How many guards did you see inside, Vanessa? You said there was quite a few.
I think by the time we left, there was over 22 guards, to be exact.
About
Yeah,
half
and
of
if you
them
were
are
to
now
look
out here.
around, you can see that there's some. The drawbridge is still down, and you can see that there are several guards kind of up on the berm and like watching. I mean, there's still the guard that's on duty doing the circles, but you see other ones just kind of standing up there, and they're, I don't know, 150 feet away from you guys.
Wait, can I summon?
Basil, if you do some foolish charge into the middle of them now, you will have 20 or 30 men on top of you very quickly. Are
Yeah,
you going
but-
to defend yourself?
Basil, immediately turns around and heads back to the ship.
Wait, can I summon a crab to them?
Shit.
I don't know, can you? Well, that's a good question.
It says the
Like a
sorcerer must
giant
specify
crab.
the animal type. I want to summon it, and I want to say, like, you see, the crabs do not approve of this. They want Muda. You should just leave him here for the crabs. But that's my plan, if I can do this. Because it just says may include. I mean, it doesn't actually say. So I just was asking. Can't hurt to ask.
Yeah, I think that the reason why it says that may is because it's giving you an idea of power level, I'm guessing. Because if you look at the
Right.
various spells going up, you've got brown bear, polar bear, cave bear, mountain lion, tiger, saber
I don't need to summon a giant crab. Like if I could summon 4 or 5 smaller ones and then try to
Yeah.
make it.
No, that's what I mean. I think that, if you could summon 4 wolves, sure, you could summon crabs. Okay, and you can, so they are summoned rudely from whatever they were doing.
I know.
What would you like to do with these crabs? You can give them you can put them within 240 feet of you, and you can give them a command. Obviously, they would need to be near you
Yeah, I'm going to say
simple
to
one
them,
sentence task.
to swarm around those men, those ones right there. And I'm going to go over there because they're not that far away from me, right?
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
And
All right.
I'm
So
going-
crabs. You know what? Roll 4d12.
okay.
That's how many small. You're just gonna summon regular crabs, right? Little baby ones.
Yeah, I mean, not, just regular ones, spider crab,
So that's how many. So
I'm sorry, what did you say to roll a d12?
4d12.
4d12, okay. So 7, 13, plus 12 is 25.
That's a lot of
Plus
crabs.
another
Okay.
12, plus another 12 crabs. So it's like 37 crabs total.
Well, that's a lot of crabs. Okay. Yeah. So this swarm of crabs comes up out of the water and starts to circle around the men who have now fully doused doused Muda the big trouble. Doused Muda in
Okay.
in oil, anointed him. We'll say.
I was going to say, this suddenly sounds like a Buddhist immolation going on here.
It's going to be a Muda immolation in a second, unless Podesta does really well here. So what do you guys
I
do?
don't know. I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to say, oh God. I'm going to say, hark. See here, in my best bardic voice. These crabs who have appeared here are a sign from the sacred crabmen. This man is not to be burned, he is to be left for the crabs. If you burn him, you will anger them.
Am I back from getting my hammer yet?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, if you ran, you're probably running back as you see
Yeah.
Furness to move forward and do that.
So as I run up and I see the crabs come, I go, the holy ones, and I drop down to my knee like that.
Everybody pay reverence. I'm like, down.
Basil,
Alright.
in the meanwhile, he ran back to the ship,
Yeah.
and as soon as he gets on deck, he yells, "All right, get ready! Muda's about to be burned alive. Grab your arrows and set them down." And he's gonna set arrows from the deck of the ship.
Oh, you want the sailors to fight?
Yeah, he wants the sailors to, use
Alright.
ranged weapons to assist, and he's gonna point at one of them and says, man the ballista."
They look at you and they go,
Because screw that particular guard right there.
yeah, and they run down. All right, let me roll a little reaction check here. We'll give you +2 for the crabs, and you got what's your charisma should give you another 1.
My charisma's
I think.
15. Yeah. My
Yeah, so
charisma's
+3.
15.
That's pretty good. All right. So you'll definitely
Plus I
not
threw
take the
myself
cost
in
of
the
Oh,
one.
please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please.
Oh my god. Okay, I've only rolled a 4, which is 7. Okay, uncertain. So yeah, they seem a little confused, and they say, "Well, yeah, you're probably right. Yes. Put him down." And the 2 men that are holding the thing drop it to the ground, and then they say, "Impale him now." And the men with the spears all stab them through Muda, so that the crabs can eat him.
Sorry, I
So-
tried.
You're essentially helpless, Muda. So you're about to get stabbed by 6 spears. And then we'll go from there as the crabs are going to probably start to devour you. Well, they probably won't actually devour you, but how much damage does a spear do? I think Mike has a plan.
Spear will be D6.
Two-handed though, right?
Two-handed
So,
should be D8.
D8,
I believe.
yeah. All right. Well, Muda. 3. 11. 16. 20. 27. 29 points of damage.
I'm at 0.
Okay. So Muda goes unconscious as they pull the spears out, and then they say, the crabs will finish him. And then they get down on their hands and knees as well. Showing reference to the crabs as you guys are all sitting there, and Muda's bleeding. Well, he's not bleeding up, he's unconscious.
I stand up and say, you fools! The crabs came forth to tell you not to kill this man. And look what you have done. You acted upon on your own.
We've shown reverence. We should leave.
They look up at you and they say, you are not from here. You don't know what you're talking about. The crabs need to devour him.
Well, if that's what need to be done.
Well, let's leave them to it. And
Agreed. Busta's going to start walking towards the ship. I mean, she knows there's nothing that she's going to be able to do at this point.
Yeah, they're all like, flat on their bellies, or at least on their knees and down with their weapons. They're not paying any attention, really, except for when you yelled at him. He stuck his head up and he said something to you. But then, at this point, they're just showing reference to the crabs as the rain is letting up a little bit, and Muda is unconscious there with a bunch of spear holes in him, still tied to a big log and covered in oil.
I glance at Panesta and Brakehild, and I'm like, they're flat on their faces. Now's our chance. Half of the guards are here.
Basil has his arrow set, and he's looking for an opportune moment to attack, or if there's a signal to attack.
we're not looking to slaughter these people, Bale.
I slaughtered our friend.
Yeah,
We
he
can
had
let
it
them-
coming.
We can
He brought this up on himself, evidently,
Yeah.
by whatever he did inside. I was not there, so you were.
we can
Did you
still
n-
probably save him. He's unconscious. I don't think he's dead yet. We just need these guys to skedaddle. You know, go away.
Vanessa, there is something I can do that would, if you could get the guards, as you say, to go back in the deal, and if they will leave his body here, we could push it out into the water. I can, I don't know if he's still alive, but if there's any chance of him being alive, we could, I could cast a spell upon him. We could breathe in the water, and we could rescue him from the water itself. Maybe they would not see us, but that's the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay. Well, they're all on their hands and knees. If I need to get him in the water, then, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on Muda's body. And I'm going to say, your sacrifice has been accepted. I could have given him to the crabs, and I'm going to push him in the water. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, that's fine. I'm going to give a straight reaction on that because
Yep, that's fine.
they very well may have seen you cast a spell. I mean, casting a spell is not exactly something you can do. But we'll assume that you get it somewhat succinctly. Man, this guy is very confused as to what to do. He sees the body shining. He says, I need to get the shaman. And he gets up and he runs back towards the village. The other ones stay there, not doing anything.
Okay, I'm just going to push Muda into the water. I'm going to just push him in the water. I'm going to just like roll him with my foot.
He's tied to a giant stick.
I freaking drowned.
You're going to have to drag him through the water if you want to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's hilarious to just roll him into the water, but he's pretty far away. But that's... you kick him and he kind of...
I'm trying to help you.
I know. I just,
Sprinkle,
the irony of it. I'm about to be burned and then you drown me.
So you're gonna cast a water, some kind of water breathing spell?
Is he starting, I mean, is he, when she pushes him in the water, I mean, he starts to sink?
Yeah.
And he's tied up to a heavy pole or something?
Yeah, he's tied to a heavy pole, which is wood, which probably floats, but it's not like he's tied to it, so he's probably underneath it or next to it, or
yeah, I mean,
he's definitely in the water.
While I'm within 30 feet of him, I'm going to cast water breathing on him, so he'll be able to breathe in the water. That will last 6 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You push him in, and they don't really know what to do. I actually rolled a good reaction on the last one, so the other ones are just kind of staying down with their heads down as the one runs back. And yeah, you push him, and he starts to float away a little bit. The currents are going.
I look at Bale and I'm like, go get him. Don't let him drown.
He's floating away.
Swim him to the boat.
Yes.
I look over at Panesta and I'm like, I will drag him out to the deeps where he can be feasted upon properly.
Yes, let's talk more swimming. Go.
Yeah, I go. I do it. And as I stump off, I'm like talking about how I'm not from here. The worship of the crab is the same no matter what. And I grab him and I just like start going out of the water like these goddamn infidels. Don't know what the hell they're doing. Just into the water as I go.
Can you make the crabs try to return to the water, and they will think maybe that they're following their sacrifice or not?
I can't. I can only give them a one sentence task.
Okay.
Yeah,
crabs, however,
to disband by now. Actually.
Yeah. Once the command is given, their crabs' natural thing is to get back in the fucking water.
So actually, it might work because they'll probably go back in the water anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Oh boy. Well, I
although
hope it works,
technically
Muda.
they disappeared already, because you told them to swarm around, and it says once the task is complete, the spell is ended. The animals will disappear. So
okay,
once
fine.
his body was gone, they're gone. Yeah, they disappear.
That's good. That works for me.
Disappear? Or did they go back to the water?
No, they disappear once
they disappear.
Oh, that's even creepier. Okay.
Yeah. I'll take it. Because I summoned them rudely from the water.
Yes.
Yeah,
They were all
it rips them
napping.
from wherever they're at. Like somebody was riding a horse, and then you summon it, it like disappears from underneath.
Yep.
um, that's too epic. So it's got to be right. So let's get an overall reaction of the village once they find out what you all did. What's your plan, by the way? Now these guys are now they're very confused because you pushed them in the water. Some of them don't really know if that was the right thing to do or not. But now you're basically swimming out into the water with a giant log with a man naked and oiled on it, full of spear holes.
Are you in armor, Bale?
Yeah, that's why I sunk.
Yeah, he walks out into the water.
I'm gonna walk out of the water, and since he said he's on that kind of log, I'm eventually just gonna like push him toward the boat, hoping that Bale gets it. And once he gets down between the boat and the dock, they'll be able to haul him up without being seen.
Yeah, Basil, points at one of the guys and says, "Well, there he is. Let's drag him out of the water once he reaches the stern."
Yeah, I mean they have like fishing nets and hooks and stuff, so they run over to the side to try to scoop him out. The village itself. Oh, okay. All right. So in order for that to make sense, so what you see is the man coming back with several more soldiers, 10 more soldiers, but in the vanguard is the shaman. And she approaches the party to where you guys are have just pushed
this up
your friend
6
off
ways
into
from
the water.
Sunday? Yes.
Bale's probably walking out of the water now like that James Bond movie, except he's not a woman in a bikini, and he's a man in armor.
Angry Celt with a hammer.
Right.
Could be
So
just
the shaman will say, she looks and she sees the glowing body going on to sea, and she turns around and she says to all the people that are watching, she says, "The sacrifice has been accepted. We can all sleep well tonight." And then she turns to the group. She says, "You should probably leave."
Yes, that's a good idea.
Is Callista back on the boat by the time Muda floats over there and everything? Is dragged out of the water?
Yeah, I said I was.
Well, I said I was walking off. Yeah, I said I was walking off earlier because I knew there was nothing else.
I'm sorry. Yes.
So when they get Muda back on the boat, she has some bandages and she'll start to bandage his wounds.
Okay. Yeah. Assuming that right. Okay, good. Somehow they didn't see you guys drag him up on the boat because I rolled such a good reaction. So we're just going to say the shaman covered for you. But yeah, she kind of turns and says, "You probably should leave." And then the whole lot of them start heading back towards the village. And the rain is starting to let up now, almost completely. Just barely, like you hear a few drops splash here and there on the ground. And then you hear all the splashing of a body being dragged up out of the water.
I look back at Brickhild and I say, "Yes, I guess we should go do the shaman's task on Crystal Point." Since she just was so helpful. Also, I sure hope Muda is okay after all that.
He owes us quite a bit. We've saved his life, and it will cost the lives of 2 children, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might. And I'll turn around and start walking back towards the boat.
That's it then.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can get back on the boat. Your half-drunk sailors are happy that they didn't have to get into combat. They were like, "What end of the arrow do I point?" I mean, they're not warriors. I mean, they know how to fight if they have to, but they're definitely not warriors. And they, if you want to let off, I mean, it's nighttime, but you certainly can leave as Saturn is starting to rise above the...
Well, I don't know if we want to sail at night or if we want to...
Yeah, well, you can sail away a bit. You can just let go back
away from the dock. Yeah.
Yeah, away from the dock. Yeah. You do know, just in case I know there was a week in between, so things get lost in the crack, that the pirate is planning on coming back in 2 weeks to pick up the children. So you know they're there for at least 2 weeks. Or that as far as your rumors go, anyways. And yeah, Muda is unconscious, but you can certainly slap him awake once once you guys get on the boat, and we'll say you're safely away from shore. So, what is the plan at this point?
Well, I don't know what the plan is.
I mean, I think the best plan at this point is just to go to Crystal Point. I don't think there's anything we can do. I mean, hopefully we can come back before 2 weeks is up, but now they'll be suspicious of us.
That is
Right.
unacceptable. We have determined to take this risk to rescue those 2 children.
Wait, I understand your point, Basil, but perhaps we have 2 weeks, right?
We don't know
And-
that. And this is the opportune moment. They think that they've already routed us. So they'll be lax in their guarding of those children.
We have
They're
2 weeks.
yeah.
Well, why
they
don't
are.
we do this then? Why don't we just let me slap Muda back awake? And let's turn him invisible and let him go back in there and see if he can mess it up again. And if not, maybe he can get the 2 children out invisible.
Wait, let me talk. We had 2 weeks. Maybe if we get the shaman's brother, she said that he was going to be needed. I mean, maybe what she saw was some sort of rescue of the children. I don't know, but maybe if we can get her brother back, they'll help us.
Yes.
I think Vanessa has a good idea here. I think
Ah.
at this point it's too risky.
I mean,
I
I see your
also
point,
don't.
Basil. I do, but sorry.
I also don't believe
The
this is a-
shaman has
Same
went
here.
out on a limb trying to cover for us.
Yes,
This
but it is not an opportune moment.
If we fail now, then we can sail away. However, did Muda just get stabbed for no reason at all? We're all gathered here together, and we know that these guards just recently are heading back to the town.
Basil, do
If
you
we're
think that
careful.
any of us like this idea of leaving
Yeah.
these children here?
No,
None of
I do
us
not.
like this idea, Basil. But
If
this is
none of
not
us
an
like the
opportune
idea, then
moment.
why follow through with it? We gotta
Well,
stick
Calesta's gonna
together.
slap Basil.
And he's gonna get her, grab her arm, to prevent him from being slapped.
All
Okay,
right.
well then I'm gonna make an attack roll.
Cra-
I'm trying to slap you.
He's gonna say, "Keep your hands to yourself, Calesta."
16. Oh wait, that hits. What would it be hitting? I don't know what my thing is. I'm fighter level, fighter ability 2.
That probably does not hit. Basil's AC is 0.
It's AC 2.
2. Yeah.
Right. So at this point, Bale is going to attempt to step in.
As is
And
Brickhealed. She's
yeah,
going to step to whatever side Bale doesn't step to.
and Bale's going to say, it's not an opportune moment because, yes, we were told to leave, but the guards will, if you'll forgive the pun, be more on their guard. Yes, she stuck her neck out for us. However, we are also down a man. Did he get stabbed for nothing? Well, kinda. I mean, he
It's
did
Buddha.
kind of run
He's
his
gonna come
mouth and he
back.
got stabbed. But to go back in there now, a man short, is just going to make it even more difficult.
We will not all go as Brighild suggested. Let
What?
Muda go in.
Wait just a minute, Basil. I'm on your side on this as far as I want to hear your plan. There's no reason we cannot listen. We will be
Yes.
quiet and we will listen to whatever plan. You tell us your plan and we'll go from there. What is your plan to go back in there now and handle this?
Well, first of all, I think it was a mistake for all of us to be involved in that rescue. And I think because these guardsmen think that they've resolved the situation by having Muda sacrificed, Muda would be the last person that they expect to see. And especially if he is, as you suggest, you could turn him invisible. And if he could fly, then he could perhaps find his way, sneak in there, get the children and fly them out one by one. If he's careful.
Yes, but will he not need at least 2 days to recover from such grievous wounds?
Yes, because I have nothing that could help him recover any faster unless anyone else would.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making, is that we can't just like, oh, slap him awake, throw him on a carpet and say, pinch him on his ass and say, go get him, tiger.
And
That's not going to work. We have to give the man time to rest, and that gives everybody a chance to take a deep breath and reformulate the plan.
and
Then
also turning him invisible doesn't make the carpet invisible.
then let me go. I can't leave without those 2 children.
Turning
Ricky
you invisible does not turn the carpet invisible.
That's
Ricky
fine.
holds her hands up and she goes, "Let him go. If he wants to go and try this, let him go."
I mean, I don't want to lose the carpet.
I was gonna say,
Can I mumble something at this point? I'm still
Sure.
unconscious.
You're unconscious.
I
Looks like
haven't
you.
slapped you yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we get no. They can wake you up with a strong liquor.
It's strong liquor.
That's my healing tonic right there.
No, I'll let it. I'll stay
Yes, you
unconscious.
can mumble something. Yes, if they want to, pour some strong liquor down your throat, you can be up, like enough to mumble and stuff.
Or at least some cold water on his face.
I may not be the smartest man, but I'm not a fool. In a night like this where you cannot see the stars all that well, you won't be able to see an unlit carpet flying over your head.
There's an old saying that sometimes discretion is the better part of bravery.
Let the man go. I mean, he's showing heart. If he wants to do it, let him go. Let him do what he wants to do. And if he's not back in a certain amount of time, we leave.
I cough up some blood and spit it on the deck.
Is there something that we
And
can
I
do
just
for Muda?
croak. I can walk on water.
Yes, thanks to me. You're
No,
alive.
I could walk on water. They pushed me out. The crabs ate me. They'll think I'm a fucking god.
that could be true.
Yeah.
That's quite bold. They
The
could
dread-
also think you're a demon.
He's the dread
Yes.
pirate Muda.
Yeah, but these ignorant savages, they were going to burn me. What are they going to think if they see me walking naked across the water?
That you're a witch and that they need to kill you again?
Yeah, well, we know who the witch is in that village.
Ooh,
I mean,
she's a sh-
I'd be willing to do it just because you said you were going to do it naked, but
He's naked right now.
And then I pass
All
out
his-
again.
His clothes are all laying on the ground. You guys didn't recover those.
oh, shit.
They stripped him naked. He's also doused in oil.
Yeah, no, Callista's gonna
I'm like an eel.
Callista's gonna go ahead and like pull Muda below the deck and like get him a blanket and all that good stuff.
Oh,
Poor Muda. From
He's not gonna be
Lemurian, where
part
it's like
of-
normally 90 degrees. It's like 40 degrees out. He's naked, covered in oil, and wet.
I look like a pincushion.
I mean, hell, why don't we all just charge across the bridge naked? That'd be the last thing they would expect, and it would throw them into complete disarray.
Fewer the better. If we all go, we'll just end up attracting attention to ourselves.
I
Vanessa,
know.
I say that if
It was a joke.
Basil wants to do this, let him do it. It is up to you, though, if you will lend him the carpet.
Or accompany me, Panesta.
the shaman told me to leave. Me
Yes.
specifically.
She may
Okay.
not have been expressing her actual desire. She has told you to leave so that the guardsmen would think that we have left. If we simply sail across little a ways away from this dock and then use the carpet to land on the other side and sneak into the town, it may be a way.
I think she was telling me to leave. I mean, she has visions. She saw Calesta's plan.
Perhaps
Yes,
she
was
saw.
not happy with that.
She
Perhaps-
wasn't very happy with us earlier.
Perhaps she understood and had a vision that I would suggest this.
Always count on your team.
Basil, if you want to try it, if you really want to try it, I'll let you take the carp. And against my better judgment, I'll let you do it. If you really want to do it, and I will turn you invisible.
Okay.
But I don't think I should go back. I think I really feel the shaman does not want to see me again for a while, at least not until we've talked to her brother.
We should sail the boat. I'm assuming up north to the other side of the grove of trees so that they'll think that we are gone.
Yeah, I would like to try this. If I feel that I'm not up to the task, I'll just return.
Well, you have until we'll give you whatever X amount of time. If you're not back by then, we leave.
That is acceptable.
Okay. I'll give him the carpet and I'll turn him invisible. But you realize the shaman can probably see through invisibility, just so you know.
Yeah, but I do not intend to do harm.
Okay. I just want you to have all the info before you go.
He's quiet. Hopefully, she'll never know he was even there.
Basil takes off his armor. The final fatal mistake.
A cataphract with no armor. Nice.
Yeah, he takes off his plates and puts on his leather armor that he's got, studded leather armor, and he gets onto the carpet and says, "I'm ready."
Okay, I will touch him and make him invisible.
Right.
Okay, so you're
I
gonna
go up.
sail the. I'm sorry. Just make sure
I was just saying, I go up to the top deck, and I was going to tell the crew to start making ready to just say,
I think
like
you're all up on the
where
deck.
I'm.
No,
Huh?
I think you're all up on the deck. The only person that went
Oh,
down.
I thought we were down below.
Was, well, I think the only person that went down below was Callista. Did you all go down
Okay.
there?
Yeah,
I mean, I could be
she
wrong.
was gonna take Muda as well in order to wrap
Oh,
him
that's
up.
what I mean.
and
Yeah, you went
get
down
him
to
warm,
Muda,
yeah.
but everybody else stayed up top. I thought.
Yeah, where I'm pinging the map is where I was planning on sailing the boat to.
Okay.
Get
Well,
on
I
the
don't
other
think you
side
can
of
get that close without risk. You'll have to be.
Well, you
out
know what I
west, but
meant.
you'll
Just
be-
this area.
Yeah, I drew a blue square there. Can you see that or no?
Yeah. I see it now.
Yeah. Even that's kind of close, but it's fine. We'll say it's okay with drunken sailors.
How long
He
does
just wanted out
the
of you.
last?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
How long does the invisibility last?
Until I dispel it.
Okay.
Or until you attack.
Okay.
Right, or until you
Right.
attack, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or attack. No, not even cast a spell, just attack, right? This one. You have to make hostile.
Yes. I'm
I
reading
think
it
it's
right
hostile.
now.
Yeah. But basically, if you don't attack anything and don't cast any spells, you'll be invisible indefinitely.
Yeah. Yep, that's
Unfortunately,
right. Invisible. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
If someone tries to attack him, if they sense him there, they must have some idea of where the target is. But other than that, yeah, you have to make an aggressive action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll become visible. So if casting a spell would do it if it was like a attack spell, but if it you can cast a different spell.
But let's say that if he's using his dagger to like cut the manacles or bonds and things like that.
No, it says an attack is defined as any action that would directly harm or adversely affect another creature. So.
Okay.
Right. So pushing a boulder on top of somebody's head, stabbing them with your dagger, knocking them out, punching them in the face, stuff like that. Yeah. So yes, you can cut through bonds or whatever.
Okay.
And obviously she cast it after you switched armor, so your armor and whatever weapons you're carrying are invisible, but not the carpet because you're not carrying it, you're on it.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna hop on the carpet. He's gonna keep his bow and his sword and dagger. But he's gonna hop on and he'll ask that the ship sail to the northern side, like away from the dock, sort of like where that little cove is.
It's where the
And,
blue square is. That's where you can sail to.
oh yeah, yeah. From there, he's gonna hop on and very close to the water. He's gonna glide through over here, and just above the tree line. I mean, before he flies up a little higher, he's gonna look at the moon. You know which direction it is shining, if it is
The
visible
moons?
at all.
Right now,
Yep.
it is Phobos is half, and Selene is actually almost full. So it's actually pretty bright out, and the rain has
Okay.
stopped.
All right. So
Yeah, you're
he's
actually
going.
moving into a full moon. So basically, it's pretty bright right now.
Okay. He's going to just right above the tree line. I mean, he's not visible, so if he stays close enough to the top of the trees, just barely, he thinks that he won't be as conspicuous. So he glides through on the other side over here.
Okay.
And just before he breaks the tree line or the forest, he's gonna land in the forest right at the edge.
Okay.
And actually, right before he flies down, he's gonna look around to see if there are guards in this particular area.
Yeah, there's two guards that are making their circles, so it's just like before.
Okay.
Like you could imagine that one would be here, and one would be here, and they're moving around clockwise, so they're pacing each other, so they're each covering half.
Okay. So he's
So,
gonna
yeah.
land. He's gonna land over here, and here he's gonna roll up the carpet, and because he's carrying it, carpet would not be visible, I would imagine.
No, absolutely not. It is no. It is visible.
Okay.
In
Even
fact, if
he's
you put
carrying
something
it.
down and pick it back up, it's visible. Yep, as soon as it leaves your possession. If you want to carry the carpet, it is visible.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, he's gonna leave the carpet, and if he's gonna watch for the guard to go by, and wait for that guard to be away from him. And once that's done, he's gonna drag the carpet, or actually just hover barely over the ground to the edge right there of the pit.
Okay.
Okay. And he'll also wait for other guards to go by. And
Yeah, well, like I said, they're making circles, so you can time it if you want.
okay.
So there's
And
one. There'll always be one. I mean, when you're here, if a guard was right there, then there'd be a guard here. So if you wait until probably the furthest away a guard will ever be from you is maybe like here, but there'll also be one here, because they're walking in a thing. So they're never going to be that far away from you. But you
Okay.
certainly can.
I'm gonna be closer to the guard that has just passed than the one that's approaching, and
Okay.
he's going to navigate it so that he flies up just enough to clear that bearing and try and land inside the town right behind that building.
Okay. You do that.
Okay.
It's wet and damp and dark. So nobody's really outside. It's nighttime.
Okay. He's gonna wait there for a while for the guard to go by again.
Okay.
And when no one's around, he's gonna get on it and just barely glide on the ground to this location. He's invisible,
Okay.
and the carpet is barely off the ground, like an inch off the ground or so.
I don't think it's that precise that you could do that, but okay. Yes, you're low to the ground.
Okay.
Flying carpet is not. It's a flying carpet. It's not precise.
All right. He's gonna land it on the mud if it's muddy ground.
Oh, it's muddy.
And yeah, and he's gonna dirty it up so that he's gonna cover the carpet so that it looks like just another piece of, a part of the ground.
Okay.
And he's gonna continue on the carpet to like K6, right behind K6 over there.
You're gonna cover the carpet in mud and gunk, and then you're gonna fly it with the mud and gunk on it. Okay.
Yeah, just barely.
All right. Good. No, I thought you were hiding it. That's why I was scared. Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna bring it closer and then hide it under the. So once there,
Gotcha.
he's gonna be on foot, and he will actually wait hidden here until you know there are some movements, or if he could hear guards
Well,
moving
there's a guard
around.
right here. You can clearly see the guard. It's right here.
Okay.
He's standing there, just like he was before. That's his post.
All right. So he's gonna wait there for just a little while and see what other stuff are happening nearby him.
Not much else. It's dark. You definitely hear some rustling around. Obviously, half the city woke up because of all what was going on. But they continue their rounds. The two guards that are walking around. There's always
Yeah.
two guards circling around, besides the ones on the ground.
Okay. He's gonna look for the moment that he's gonna start to doze off. The guard.
The
I'm
guard's
wondering
not gonna
whether.
he's
Okay.
a professional guard on duty, standing outside the thing.
Okay.
He's not sitting down. He's not, He was just woken up by a combat. You would imagine as a warrior that the chance of him falling asleep on his feet right now is pretty slim. You've been waiting a long time.
If there is a rock or something, he's gonna grab that and toss it on the other side towards the bridge. So he's right around there. He's gonna grab a rock if he could, and then he's gonna toss it so that it makes a clunking noise over here.
Okay. Guard looks back.
Okay. And he's gonna try and grab a rock or something, and he's gonna do the same thing again. Toss it.
Okay. He looks again. Then he waits a minute, and by the time a guard is walking around gets about right here, he calls over to him and he says, "Hey, I keep hearing a sound over there. Check around, make sure nothing's over there." And the guard that's over here kind of comes around and starts looking around.
Okay. So I wait until that guard passes.
Okay.
And if he's,
he looks. He goes down. He sees those two rocks, and he goes, "Yeah, there's these two rocks here that seem out of place because they're dry and thrown on the ground over here." So he blows his whistle, and this guards come out of this house, and that house, and they start looking around. They're going to start searching the area now for you.
Oh man.
So, I mean, you see people start to come out. You literally just raided the village. They're on edge. I mean, this isn't like you're not suspected. So, you hear them coming. I don't know what you want to do at this point, but
Right. And this guy's not leaving, right?
nope, absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna.
All right, so while you're thinking about what to do, some guards come out of here, and what they end up doing is 4 more guards come out and they get up on the wall. So now there's a total of 6 guards on the wall, and they're spaced out about maybe 15, 20 feet apart. They're doing very thoroughly, kind of looking back and forth. That's 4. Then 6 more guards come out and they start doing perimeter searches. They head out this way, and then they're kind of doing interior circles. Oh, you can't see my mouse. They're basically walking between the houses, like they're going in here. They're just kind of doing circles in groups of 2s. I don't know if you can see that, what I just did there. Like they're doing these kind of things. I mean, obviously it's going to take them some time to do it, but they're doing like a ring until they get to the center.
So they're coming from the center out, or are they
Nope.
coming
No,
from?
well, they're starting here. All the guards come up from around here, and then they're just going to start making circles. And then also there's guards up here circling around the entire place like this.
Well, he's just gonna make sure that the carpet is, clearly under the ground right now, like under the mud.
You're going to bury it.
Yeah, he's gonna,
So you're
cover
going to
it
be
up.
digging in the ground.
Well, I
now,
mean, he's
with
not gonna
guards
be
watching
like,
you.
yeah.
I mean, you're either going to bury it or you're not. I mean, you're either going to flatten it to the ground and leave it there, or you're going to bury it. I mean, that's two very different things.
Yeah, he's just gonna leave it. It's gonna be completely.
Okay.
Just leave it alone.
Okay.
And
You
he'll
see a
just.
guard stop, and he's looking right down at you. And he raises his hand, and more guards start to come forward. Where are you in position to the carpet? Are you standing on it?
No, I've left the carpet over there, and then
Okay, that's
I
where they're looking.
navigate.
They're looking right at the carpet. They're not looking at you. They can see
Okay.
it. I rolled a 1 on their search.
Okay.
Yeah. So once 3 of them get over there, one jumps down with a spear and goes up to where the carpet is. And he kind of like looks at it, and he jams his spear into it, and then he shakes it and picks it up, and you can see that he can see what it is. He looks a little confused as to what it might be. And he kind of kicks it off on the ground. Let me roll damage on the magic carpet since it only has so many hit points. Oh, God. Okay. Ouch. It has more than 6 hit points, right? It's got like 20 or 30 hit points.
Yeah, I got it here. Hang on. The carpet has.
I mean, he doesn't know it's magic carpet or to try to kill it, so he's not going to keep stabbing it. He just stabbed it to see what it was.
18.
18, okay. Well, it took 6 damage.
Baby Teresa's AC 7 with 18 hit points.
Okay. Well, he can't possibly miss it. It's just sitting on the ground. So I don't
Yeah,
know
no, I'm
bit,
just,
but,
yeah.
Okay, so 6 damage. He just like shakes it off and it like falls on the ground. And then they start looking. Then he says, there's definitely somebody here. Or was somebody here. Might have been from before, and they start having a conversation. I mean, assuming you've like flattened your body against the building or something, they don't see you. I mean, they're not like poking the buildings, so they can't really find you without any kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he's invisible, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna wait until the heat cools down a little bit.
Okay. After a little bit, let me just make sure she's the only one that can. They're gonna get the shaman, who will, come over and stand over the carpet, and start to cast some spells upon it. You're not sure what she's doing because you're not a magic user, but she's casting spells on the carpet. Let's look at her spell list. Make sure what she has. Yep. Okay. Yeah. She says, "This is clearly some kind of a magical device. I've not seen anything like it before." And she kind of rolls it up and takes it with her and goes back towards where you assume back to her house. And she says, "Someone has violated our village. Keep the guards up."
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to stop. Like, they basically have guards out and they leave them out, Now, there's over 20 men walking around kind of patrolling. Again, they don't know you're invisible, so if you stay flat against a building or something, they're probably not going to find you. But if you start moving around, there's a chance because you got muddy ground and stuff, so...
Which building is she in right now?
You don't know where she is now. Because you are here, right? This is what you told me you were.
Right around there.
You are right there, right? So you said you were here between the building and the wall. So basically, you can't see anything. I mean, she came, she took it, and she left. She went this way. You don't know where she went because you are in a corner. The only thing you can really see from where you are is this guy, and then other guards circling around. So let's leave you there to marinate a little bit. What's everybody else doing on the boat?
Tapping his foot nervously.
Callista will be tending to Muda.
Okay, good. Is Muda the only person that has healing spells? Probably, right? So Muda's out until the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll probably go below to keep myself occupied and to keep myself from fighting off the urge of just charging into the fort. I'll probably go down there and help Callista.
Yeah.
Like tend to Muda.
You hear some drunken laughter, and for a second you're like, "That's weird. That sounded like a female voice." And you remember that you have a new crew member.
Yes. Hey, you're right. We do have a new crew member.
That's right.
I go fetch her and
Oh, you
ask her.
fetch her,
I
do
said,
you? She's an
well,
Amazonian woman. You don't fetch the Amazonian.
yes, I go to her and I say, Helene, you're a priestess, are you not?
Indeed, I am. I mean, you were worshiping me the other night.
Well, yes, but I don't know if, well, different kind of ceremony, but oh yes, church was good. But anyway, would you come with me for a moment?
Yeah, gets up.
And I take her to Muda, and I say, our friend seems to have suffered, well, he ran his mouth, and let's just say he got the point, and so
She laughs.
is there any
Well-
way is there anything you can do for the man?
Well, the
Typically,
goddess
he's the
does
only
provide
one.
me with. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, typically he's the one who provides godly healing for us, but as you can see, I wasn't sure if you could do the same.
Oh yes, the goddess does provide me with healing spells for those who are too weak to heal themselves.
You're not gonna hurt him, are you?
A little bed rest, he'd probably be fine. But if you need him right now,
I wouldn't say I need him at full health, but it would be nice to have the lad conscious.
oh, all right, hold on. She cracks her fingernails. She comes up to him. She grabs Muda by the shoulders, shakes him like this, and casts Cure Light Wounds. So that's what, a D8, right?
I love it.
She shakes the health back into you with the Cure Light Wound spell, which I think is a D8. Is that true?
What god is this? I gotta follow this god too.
Artemis.
I think it's 2d4, but I could be wrong.
I whisper it to
Not
him.
Cure
I
Light,
say, you
but
might
For
want to
what?
be
Cure
careful.
light? 1d8.
D8, yeah.
You may want to be careful. How
Oh,
you
she's
follow
good at this.
god.
She shakes the heck out of you. You get 8 hit points back.
Nice.
Excellent.
She does have good hands.
Yeah. She shakes you, then she kind of drops you down on the bed, and then she picks up the drink that she had set down, and then she hands it to
Yeah.
you.
I just kind of side eye her a little bit, and then I feign sickness again.
You'll be fine.
No, I think I could use a little more.
Can't we all? But she's smarter than that. Unfortunately
And
for
she
you.
side eyes. She says, "Really? This is your healer?"
Oh, well, thank you.
I just
Appreciate
kind of look at her and I go, he's special.
What? She has good hands. You should
I
keep
know
her.
she has good hands. Trust me.
Yes. You need to
Why
keep
aren't
him
you
in
wearing any
line.
clothes? She kind of looks at
What?
Muda, and then she looks at Callista, who's in there with him, and he's naked, and she's just like, "What?
Well,
What's
I
going
mean,
on here?"
I said that Callisto like wrapped him up in a blanket and stuff.
Oh,
Right.
well, yeah.
Right,
Either
that's
way,
true. But
we
he's still
didn't do
naked.
this.
He's wrapped in
now.
a blanket.
Wait,
Okay, what kind of oil did they douse me in?
Oh, like
Don't-
lamp oil, like light you on fire oil.
Okay. I just want to know if I smell like a salad or if I smell like fish or.
Well, yeah, it's probably like some kind of fish oil, right? That's probably what they
More
have,
than
right?
likely,
Probably,
yeah.
like whale
Yeah.
fat or something. Yeah.
you smell like
So,
a
yeah,
krill
you
bar.
smell fishy. Yeah.
I smell
You smell like a
fishy.
krill bar.
But,
Mood is up. How about anybody else on deck there? Brickhild, Vanessa.
Brickhild is sitting there drinking from that wonderful ale that she bought that time. That she still has some left. She's just sitting there drinking and just shaking her head. Can't believe it's come to this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there.
Vanessa's favorite magic item. Oh God. Basil, you better hope that you die. 'Cause Fritz is gonna kill you.
I was going to say, if he's not dead at what the end of this, or to have the kids, he's going to be dead anyway. So.
So several hours go by. I mean, I don't know how much. Would you give him till sunrise or something?
Yeah, I would think maybe an hour after sunrise or something.
Okay. You're standing there, Basil, kind of trying not to move as the guards are all coming by you, unless you have some other plan that you have thought of.
Yeah, he's gonna try and listen for where the shaman lady lives.
Well, they're not going to talk about where she lives. They're just making a patrol.
Yeah, he's gonna follow around. He's gonna look at the footsteps. I mean, is it light or is it still dark?
Oh, it's bright out because the moons are out, but it's still dark. Yeah, it's not sunrise yet. You got maybe like an hour before sunrise.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna follow the footsteps, or what he thinks is the footsteps of the shaman lady.
I mean, that's going to be a very difficult roll. I'll give you let's give you a 1 in 6. I mean, there's tons of footprints everywhere. It's muddy, which works well for you being invisible. So at least we don't see your footprints popping up as you walk around. I'll give you 1 in 6. Go ahead, roll d6. See if you can see.
I mean, the way that he figures, unless the drawbridge goes down, he's not going to be able to just simply walk out. And unless he has that flying carpet and the cover of darkness, there's no way that he could escape. So,
yeah, I mean, you could probably, just to give you a little bit of details, things that you would know, you probably could climb over the berm and through the spike pit, but you would have to make some kind of a test of dexterity, or you might slip and get yourself stuck on the spikes. But it is possible to get over them, but there's also a chance you might get seen, because dirt moving and stuff. It wouldn't be a huge chance because you're invisible, but and it's dark. But now you've got 20, 30 men out looking for you, so it's not impossible to get out, but it would be very difficult. Those kind of spike things are really meant to slow people down, not completely stop them. But sure, having the drawbridge down would be a lot easier.
Yeah, unless he's actually dispelled, I guess he's gonna stay that way. So he's gonna.
Nothing will turn you visible. To take as far as the drawbridge, it goes up and down with the crank with a rope. So I mean, you could walk up to it and drop the drawbridge yourself. But of course, obviously, they would know that the drawbridge went down. And you can't really distinguish. I mean, you know what direction she went, but you have not been to her place, unlike some of the others. So you have no idea which hut might be hers.
Okay.
At this point. However, as you're contemplating all this and kind of figuring out what you want to do, you hear a bit of a commotion, and you hear a couple of the guards say that they found somebody. And they seem to be moving towards the center of the village. Unfortunately, the guard at K6 is not moving because that's his post. In fact, there's another guard there now. There's 2 guards there.
Okay.
But the other guards seem to be, a lot of them seem to be moving into the interior, although they're still leaving 6 guards on the wall.
All right. He's not going to make a move until at least the number of guards over there goes down to 1.
Okay. Yeah. It does not seem to happen. However, what you do find happens is about 5 minutes after this commotion, you see a group of 6 men. They're dragging along somebody who you've seen before, the man from the cage. They are dragging him. He looks very beat up. And they're saying something about how he killed somebody. And they bring him over to K6, open the door, and they go in with him. And then they close it, and there's still 2 guards there. So now you got 2 guards outside, plus several guards inside that have now been in with the guy.
He will stay outside and just simply observe.
Okay, so you hear some movement inside and stuff. Clearly they're locking him in there, which they do, and then they come back out, and then they leave.
How many guards come out?
Hey, Daniel, even though we wouldn't know this, just to clarify what you just said, that was one of the stowaways they just drug in there?
That's right.
All right.
Yep, they are not on the ship. Nobody asked about them because I asked a couple times. Did you guys look for them? And you guys were like, "Oh no." They actually went back and murdered a couple people. Although one of them is now dead. Which
Well, fuck those guys.
Yep, one of them's dead, and the other one, unfortunately, the one that you made the deal with, he actually survived, and he is now recaptured after assassinating somebody in the town. And you hear them talk about that a little bit. Then the guards, and then they leave. So now you're left with, as the sun is starting to crest the horizon, there's 2 guards standing in front of K6, and the wandering guards that are in the space have now stopped. They've all kind of gone back into their quarters. All that's left is 6 guards. They've left extra guards on the wall. So you got 6 guards wandering on their wall and 2 in front of K6. Otherwise, you don't see any more guards wandering around as the sun starts to come up. It is 8 o'clock in the morning on the 24th day of the 2nd month of the 11th year.
Is it still dark or is it light?
It's dawn. It's a little chilly. Some freezing rain starts to pelt down on you a little bit. Not heavy like it was last night. The sun's coming up, so it's like sunrise. You can see now. You're starting to... the moons have just dropped. I mean, you had full moons all through the whole night, so you're getting like this cool moonlight is sifting away, and you get that warm light of the dying sun of Hyperborea kind of cresting over the horizon, the warmth of it.
He's gonna... how many guards did I see come out of that K6?
All the ones that went in, which was 3, I said? 3 guards. 3 went in, 3 came out.
At K6, he's gonna knock on the door.
Well, there's 2 guards standing in front of it. You're going to stand between them and knock on the door? There are 2 guards standing in front of K6.
Okay.
Currently. I mean, you could knock on the door, but they're almost certainly going to hear you if you do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's gonna sound like, somebody's trying to knock from the inside, but I don't know whether if that's gonna work that way.
I'm going to say that if you stand between these 2 guys and knock on the door, there's a very good chance that they're going to have a chance that they're going to be able to know something's up.
Right.
Because you have to walk up to them and, to do that as well. So you are invisible, but there's going to be a chance. There'll be a 2 in 6 chance that they're going to realize that you're standing right in front of them.
Yeah, he's gonna look up into the sky and says, "Well, I suppose my friends are gonna sail away now, but that doesn't matter."
An hour.
Yeah, so he's gonna, continue to hide and observe until the situation changes.
Okay. I mean, if you're not trying to get out of there before the boat leaves, eventually, 1 guard will leave, and you'll see people come in. The town will open up for business, and you'll see the drawbridge go up and down. As people come and go, you could certainly very easily walk out if you are invisible. But to get into that K6, you will have to somehow open the door, which it'd be almost impossible to do with guards standing there. So you have freedom to leave the village, if you need, but you're not going to be able to get inside that K6 without doing something pretty dramatic, and I don't know what it would be, but you tell me.
Oh, brother. Yeah, I mean, at that point, he has no, possibility of retrieving the kids. So there's only 1 guard right now, right?
There's only 1 in front of K6 now, yeah. And then now that it's daylight, they've gone back to just the 2 guards on the wall. So again, you've got, just like when you first went in, you've got 2 guards circling the wall, and you got 1 guard standing in front of K6.
Okay. He's gonna... Yeah, he's gonna be walking out.
Okay, yeah, you can wait till the gate opens and just walk right across the drawbridge if you'd like.
Yeah, he does so.
All right, I'll give you 3 in 6 chance that the gate opens before, so you have enough time to get to the shore. Go roll a d6. If you get 1, 2, or 3, then you can make it back to the shoreline so your friends can pick you up before they leave. If not, they are going to be, unless they, oh no. All right, the time comes, he's not back. So if you guys want to leave. Is that
Oh
the
yeah,
plan?
if he didn't show back, I would just look at the rest of them and go, well, he's not coming back. We told him when we were leaving, and we knew the chances of him coming back were very slim anyway. He made his decision. Wow, come on, guys.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just Bale. I was trying to formulate my response. Bale just kind of grumble and like can't stand it, but at the
You're
same
right.
time, I can't stand leaving. I can't stand leaving men behind.
We
But
told him to wait.
I'm not in charge.
I mean,
Nobody's in charge.
Yeah.
It's a democracy.
I mean,
I am,
Collective.
I
I am
agree that
especially not in charge.
I agree. Like, I mean, I didn't want him to go in the first place, so I'm not for sitting here and waiting for him.
Bale, I understand what you were saying, but we made an agreement with him and we knew his chances of coming back were very slim. We almost lost one, but thanks to the actions of a couple of us, we were able to save Muda, but we can't just keep going there one at a time and
No,
expecting anybody to come back.
I'm not arguing with you. I just doesn't mean that I have to like it.
Well, I don't think any of us like what has transpired here.
I'm with Brickhill.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry, Nikki.
Just so you know. Just so, yeah, no, I'm just going to say I'm with Brickhill. I told him what I'd do, and I did it, and we waited, and he's not back.
All right. Unfortunately, you don't really have any way of knowing what's going on with them. I don't think you do, unless you have a way.
If it's a new day, can you crystal ball him?
If only we had some sorts of divination.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I've already used my crystal ball today.
Yep.
I could use it again, but there's a risk that I can go crazy for weeks.
Well, let me
Okay.
ask you this, because I guess you would probably know since it's your crystal ball. Can you see invisible things?
I don't think so. I can only see in the area. I don't think it would allow me to see someone who is invisible. I would be able to see, I guess, him, but only that location. I've never really tried it before.
Yeah, go ahead and roll because you've never tried it. Roll a d6. I'll give you a 4 and 6. You're a magician. You would probably have a good chance. No.
Is it a next day where?
Or
So hold on one second, Young. So you know that if you were, let's say something's invisible, you would see if they actually exist. If they're actually invisible, you would see the area that they're in exactly. So you would know you wouldn't see him, but you'd see where he is. If he was dead, then you'd see his dead body, I suppose. But if he was dead and invisible, I guess you would. That would be the thing. So yes, if he's invisible, you won't see him, but you can see the area, just like you said. That's 100% how it would work. So if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Young. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I wanted to see whether if Calesta's crystal ball would be the following day or is it the same day?
I guess it would actually be the next day because the sun came up, right? Yeah. Because it's not 24 hours, right? It's day, or is it 24 hours?
Let me
We'll just see how it's
read
phrased.
it.
I'll be lenient on it if it says day.
Okay. It says 3 times a day.
Okay. Then I'll say from that a day is a 24-hour period. So from we'll say a day starts at midnight. Basically 12. So since you used it yesterday in the afternoon, you can use it today. Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, I could do it, but I wouldn't be able to see him. I would only be able to see the area he's in. If you want me to use it, I will.
You don't know whether if he's still invisible or not. I mean, you think that he's probably dead, so...
Right. But I'm saying, like, we know you left invisible, and so if you, in the chance that you are like alive and everything, like I'm saying, or in the chance that you died invisible, I wouldn't be able to see you only if you're invisible.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm willing to try it if that's what you all want me to do. Though I was against this plan from the start.
If you want to use it, but
Yeah, not at the risk of you going insane.
yeah.
Oh no, that was yesterday. So like now I can use it once a day without that chance. I was confused. I was so much has happened in so little time and such little time. But it's after midnight. I should be fine. After midnight.
Well, it's
Well, now-
actually up to you. It's your crystal ball.
Yes.
All right. Since
Helene
you've
looks
asked me to break
at
Hill.
Bale. Helene looks at Bale and says, "Are they always like this?"
He just kind of looks over her, nods a little bit. She leans over and say, "That's why I don't talk that much."
All right. Since Brighild asked her to, and she respects Brighild, she will use her crystal ball to locate the area that Basil is in and see if she can see him or not. And she'll spend like a turn to see if she can. If she can only see the area, she'll like spend like a turn to see if she can see like footprints or anything like that. Any obvious signs that he may be alive.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that if you are crystal ball scrying on a person and they move, then the vision would move. So, because he rolled a 4 and I gave a 1 in 3 chance he would get up before you guys left, I'm going to say that you kind of capture him right around the time that he's making his move. So at first you see the area around number 6, and you can see the one guard. And then all of a sudden your vision starts moving, so you can tell that he's moving, and you kind of can see up from above, his path. You see his footsteps smushing in the mud because he's invisible, of course. You see him wait and the drawbridge go down, and then you see him kind of quickly dash across the drawbridge with another person kind of walking with the steps at the same pace so that it doesn't make a separate set of footsteps, and then kind of breaking off to the side and moving along the tree line to try to catch up to where the ship is. You think he'll probably be able to get to the shoreline, and if he doesn't get seen, in like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, she'll relay all that information to the party.
Well, that would probably tell us then if he's moving on foot, he has lost possession of the flying carpet then. But I guess send men in a rowboat to the shoreline and maybe he will see them.
As soon as Brighild says lost possession of the flying carpet, Bale takes his hammer and he just like pulls it off his shoulder and he just hands it over toward Panesta.
I look at Bale and I say, in the end, the flying carpet is a thing and he's a person, so I'm glad he's alive.
He looks at you and then he kind of holds the hammer out one more time like,
Well, I appreciate the gesture, but if I decide to go that way, I've got my own tools to do that.
All right.
Also, I have to retcon something. I said that Elian's god was Artemis, but it's actually Auroras, which makes more sense. So
Auroras?
Yeah.
Auroras.
Okay.
Auroras, yeah. So if you're into religions, it's the shining one, Auroras.
Is she in the regular book
that's-
or is she in the adventure that you have?
This is in the regular book.
Who Auroras is in the regular
Yeah.
book, yeah.
Okay.
That's actually who Callista worships as well, or she has like a holy symbol. So she kind of worships Auroras.
Yeah. Stars, meteor showers, comets, sorcery, and witchcraft.
Yeah, I'll
Formless
read
goddess
better. I
typically
just didn't know if
manifests.
she's
She's
in the
chaotic.
book or not.
She's a little on the chaotic side, so now that's what you got yourself into. Yeah, so you see the rowboat coming to the side. A couple sailors. You can see they're a little hungover.
Yeah. He walks over there and he, if there's no one around, he's gonna say, "Hey, fellas, still invisible. Don't be alarmed. I'm still invisible."
Yeah, I'm sure they probably said that you would be invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sailors kind of they say, "What's the password?"
It's Basil. Come on, you idiots. He
That's
says,
right. Basil is an idiot. That's exactly what they said the password was.
"Yeah, funny. How's everyone doing? I mean, I'm surprised that you guys have come here after all. I thought you'd be sailing away."
Oh no, they would never leave you. They didn't even think about it for 1 second.
Well, I was wondering if I should abide my time and rescue the children, but figured that there's no way to keep the children safe in the meanwhile. So Vanessa's not going to be happy when I come back empty-handed without the flying carpet.
They fall into silence, and you just hear the boat, the oars going. Yeah, so I think it's probably a good place to wrap it up here. So you get it back up on the boat. Does anybody just want to make a statement about the flying carpet before we? We're gonna save that for
I'm
next
so
time.
dead.
Just that
Yeah, Basil climbs out of that boat and he's there and he says he puts some dirt on himself so that people could see him and says, "I failed. The guards wouldn't leave and I made a stupid move and they found the carpet that I hid under the next to the building."
well, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anybody's toes here, but you know what you can do to make it up to me, Basil? You can like, comment, and subscribe to Vantage Keep Actual Play.
That's
And-
it. That's easy. I should do that right away.
Exactly. Ring the bell, do all that good stuff, and you're forgiven. But really, honestly, I should leave you invisible for the rest of your life.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then suddenly Basil punches one of the guys.
It becomes visible.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Quick
All right,
permanency,
well-
permanency.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like next week we'll figure out what's going to happen now. If you want to go back for the children, then in 2 weeks the pirate will be back. Maybe that's a better option. Or if you want to go back right away, that's up to you. Otherwise, you'll sail up to Crystal Point and see what's going on with the treasures of Atlantis.
Nice.